The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, you guys. We here at Trick or Treat Radio, we're big fans of music. And we're big fans of horror, and we're big fans of gore. Now, what do you do when you put all three of them together, put them in an animated movie, and that's going to be coming out August 22nd of this year? Why, there's only one thing you call it. You call it Metalocalypse Army of the Doomstar. And it's going to be coming out streaming and on physical media this August 22nd. Now, I am excited over this news. I cannot wait. It's going to be a full-length feature, directed, written, and everything else by Brandon Small, the creator of Metalocalypse. It's going to be having a companion soundtrack, and I know you guys can't wait. I know Wolfie can't wait. I know Raven Shadow can't wait. I know I can't wait. And we're going to be seeing the malfunctioning band known as Death Clock ramping it up again. And of course, you know, they're not strictly horror. They do enter into horrific situations, but usually it's the blood, and the blood is everywhere all the time. And to give you an idea as to what the plot is, I shall read it verbatim. The all-new animated movie begins after the heroic rescue of Toki Wartooth, Death Clock frontman Nathan Explosion finds himself traumatized in a brutal professional and romantic flat spin, all while he is tasked with fulfilling the prophecy and confronting the ultimate songwriting challenge to save the planet. Sound familiar? Can Nathan Explosion look beyond his brutally damaged ego to save his band, stop the Metalocalypse, and finally face the ultimate evil, Salacia? This is going to be fun. I cannot wait. Blood and music everywhere. It's going to be brutal. And welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 575. That's the one that we're doing of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein. Also at the lair. What is it? Do we have a new name for it? Is it the underground lair of Lost Swag?
Oh, fucking Morlock Manor. I'm not sure yet. We're still working on some things.
The underground lair. We'll call it that for now, I guess. Yeah. And also in Casa de -0, or I don't know, maybe it's like plus 100 degrees or something like that. Is it hot up there today at MZ or what?
It's been gorgeous all week. It's been in the mid-70s, low humidity all week. All sunshine, no rain. It's been awesome this week.
And there's your weather update.
I'm sorry. Can I just go back to the intro? That was like the amuse bouche. That was the segment before the first segment. That was so long.
Well, there was a lot to unleash there.
Okay.
You know?
Do you want to start doing intros again, Raven Chow? Are you critiquing him?
I'm just saying it was long. I think my hair grew back.
Wow.
No, I'm just having fun with you.
No, he's calling you out.
Well, I don't care. He's good. What, can he do a better job than me? At times he can. Well, at times you do. At times you do belt out a decent intro.
Thank you.
And then it goes all downhill from there.
That's fair. And I love what you do very, very much. I just thought it was long. It was nice though. I never really watched the Metalocalypse when it was on.
Metalocalypse? What?
Yeah, what's it called? Metalocalypse?
Yes, that's it.
Metalock Lemon.
Why haven't you watched it? The fuck's wrong with you?
I think when it was that era where I just wasn't. I
don't like cartoons. They're for kids.
No,
What was that, MZ? You got cut off.
He was too stoned to pay attention by that time.
No, I think I was trying to do the family gimmick in those days. I just didn't watch it. That was like during like bedtime and homework.
No. This was back at the manor. Where everybody got drunk, everybody got shit faced, and then we would watch Metalocalypse, we would watch Samurai Jack, and we would watch Iron Chef.
But I wasn't there for those days though. Like I didn't.
You lived
Dude,
there.
it was. Could you say you were dead?
But I think I was not always home those nights when you were doing that, and like.
That's cool, you know. If you didn't want to hang out with your friends, you know, it's cool.
In
you know,
retrospect,
you had other more important things to do. It's all right, no big deal.
Well,
Hey, you thought that was long? Be glad I didn't mention that there's a short clip of said film on Bloody Disgusting on the Bloody Disgusting app or on bloodydisgusting.com. So be glad I didn't go that far.
wow. Are you getting paid for all these promos?
No.
Okay, good.
I do it out of the. All right. Now, Wolfie,
Yo,
you had to have known about this.
Yeah, I've known about it for a few weeks at least, maybe a month or two.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm going to get.
Seen the clip?
What's up?
Did you see the clip?
Was it released recently? If so, I haven't. I saw a trailer.
It was released today.
Oh yeah, I haven't
There's
seen
a clip. It's pretty funny. All the original voices are back and everything, so it's like time stood still, man.
it.
Now, don't get me wrong. I like what I've seen, and I think didn't that band also do a bunch of like animated shorts where they were like took death metal against all like the Bat family? Like there was one they were trying to bust out Aquaman, and he's being held hostage underwater by like the cast of SpongeBob. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about, so no.
Yeah, it's like metal. It's all the Bat family. What?
That sounds like a Robot Chicken project.
It was on Cartoon. I saw it on the YouTube.
No.
Corny. All right.
You doing a call and answer, waiting for him to answer you back?
Yeah. Shit. All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for the project.
No, you're not.
I am.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the new music because I actually saw Death Clock live a couple times and thought they were real good. Now, obviously, it's a cartoon band, but there's real musicians behind it. Brendan Small, as you mentioned, MZ is the main driving force behind it, and there was a dispute between him and I don't know if it was Cartoon Network or I don't know if Adult Swim is a different thing entirely or if it's the same entity, but there was like a feud between them for a few years, and he wasn't able to do anything Death Clock or Metalocalypse related, and because they owned the property, even though it was his, so.
Oh shit.
He put out an album. I want to say it was Galacticon, I think. Was that it?
Wait.
Yeah, Brendan Small's Galacticon, and it was essentially like Metalocalypse, but it was like death metal, but by like cartoon sort of like or a fictional band.
Yeah. But look up Metalocalypse Batman. Metalocalypse. It's a hard word to say.
Not really.
See what comes up.
Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse Batman.
Yeah. See what comes up.
You're a monkey, for God's sakes. You can't talk.
Nothing.
No, I can talk. I just can't say that word. That's a fucking hard word. It's like ukulele. Well, that's pretty easy, I guess.
I don't see anything. Bat Metal series?
Yeah, Bat Metal. Bat Metal. That's what it is.
The Russian animation studio Red Medusa's YouTube channel made a short, humorous animated series called Bat Metal, featuring their own animation with Death Clock music. So it's not related. It's just a a side thing. Well, not even a side thing. It's just someone else did this to
Stole their music.
to their music. This is the first video featured the song Face Fisted. It is sung by Batman with Robin, Nightwing, Red Robin, and Red Hood as instrumental accompaniment, and it was uploaded in 2014. And
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
the second video features the song Mermaider. This video has a certain plot in which Batman and company rescue Aquaman from SpongeBob, Squidward, Plankton, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Ariel, and Flounder by gruesomely killing them. So yeah, it's just it's not related. It's just someone, like a studio did this project and used Death Clock's music.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm more familiar with. That's what I'm more familiar with their stuff.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not related to it though.
Oh, fuck! I'm trying to engage in the conversation.
It's like saying this Batman fan film is is my favorite Batman film.
Well, for some, Batman Dead End was someone's favorite fucking first Batman film back in the day when he fought the Predator.
Let's see. We got Marin's hanging out. She says, "Hi guys, I vote for the Raven Cave for Raven Show's new locale."
I like that.
Evil Corny says, "I thought of that basement as Club Raven Shadow when I visited. I was disappointed that there was a beer shower I wasn't privy to."
Well, you were in a different kind of shower, Corny, to be fair.
Yeah.
Golden shower.
And Corny says Metalocalypse is something I never got into. What? Let's see.
Don't tell Wolfie. He'll get pissed.
Don't feel so bad. Raven Shadow didn't seem to like it that much either.
Yeah, he is. He thinks it is like fan films. So
Corny thinks.
No. Raven Shadow does. He thinks it's fan films with Batman in it.
Well,
Raven Shadow.
So I'm trying to think of a way to describe it, like something that it's like. I mean, I haven't seen the Venture Brothers, but I've seen episodes here and there, but I hear some people say it's like similar to that if you took like a metal band, and they're like the biggest metal band in the world, and they basically run the economy, and they're kind of like almost like the stock market. Like if things go poorly for Death Clock, like the economy tanks. So they're like the biggest thing in the world. And there's lots of beheadings and violence and people getting guitars like through their heads, and they're sort of like kind of like dummies like to what's going on. Like they're fighting this war that like they kind of don't really even know they're fighting. But yeah, it's fun, and there's like a shadow sort of like shadowy sort of cabal that's behind a bunch of stuff, and Mark Hamill does voices for it. Let's see, I'm trying to think of what else. Malcolm McDowell has done voices for him as well. So good, they get some good talent. But yeah, I would recommend it. I mean, I love it. It's what, 3 or 4 seasons? I don't actually remember right now, but and then there was like a TV movie to kind of wind up the series. So
cool.
Yeah, it's good though, and the music's good. Let me see. I'm gonna see how many series or how many seasons.
It's 4.
Yeah, so it was 4, 61 episodes and 1 special. They're all short, like 10, 11 minutes for the first couple seasons. I think season 3 was longer. And let's see, it started in 2006. So maybe we didn't watch that at the Manor. When did you move out of the Manor?
We moved out 2004,
okay,
right after the Sox won the World Series.
It must have been something else, MZ, because it started in 2006.
I could have sworn we watched it at your place, dude.
No, you guys loved Top Chef, which I couldn't get at the time.
No, Iron Chef, come on.
Iron Chef. Oh, there's a fucking chef involved.
A big difference.
Yeah, fine. You know, you loved MXP or MXC.
NXP.
NX.
Fucking
Yeah, we
jeez.
found that shit. MXC,
Yeah.
Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
Yep.
Yeah, that shit, man. Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
But you can still watch it. They got the episodes on Tubi now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I like because I would come home Sunday mornings and you guys would still be watching that, I think, and I would jump in. The Iron Chef I couldn't get into. I didn't get that gimmick.
What's wrong with you, man?
Lots of things, but like it just wasn't my deal. But yeah, I think that came afterwards. Like I never watched the food Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I didn't watch that. I didn't watch Venture Brothers. My buddy Nate loves it, and
I never got into it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Evil Corny asks, let's see. He says, "Is it like Aqua Teen Hunger Force?" I would say it's similar. It's got more of an overarching story, I think. But I also didn't see all of Aqua Teen, so I don't know if it's like like an overarching story that runs throughout all the seasons. But I mean, there's some just silly episodes too, but there's usually something that moves the plot along. So I can't really say. I think Aqua Teen was maybe a little bit more silly. It was funny. I like Aqua Teen, but I think they're probably in the same vein. You could, if you like one, you could probably like the other.
Is that the same show that I keep on seeing the character in the memes on Facebook, where it shows like a guy in a wife beater with a really hairy chest and
yes.
Okay. Yeah, that guy looked fun.
That's Aqua Teen. That is it. It's funny. I mean, I've seen a few episodes. That's Carl. And it's like there's like a burger, fries, and like a meatball, I think, or something like that. The main
Was it a shake, meat
yeah.
wad, and the fries.
Yeah.
We got to go tea. Now at the Manda, we watched a bunch of Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Invader Zim.
Mm-hmm.
Gumbo loved Invader Zim. Then Jackass was on, or CKY all the time.
Yeah.
I must have it.
Skeletor.
Yeah, it's just funny. I wonder if it like is as funny these days. It's one of those things where, like, now that we're like older and not as reckless, like I wonder if like something like CKY or Jackass would be as funny.
I'll tell you this: I am nothing if not mature.
What?
Okay? I am nothing if not mature.
Yes, that is absolutely right.
You're absolutely right, Chet. Absolutely right.
Yeah. Because I have so matured over the years, since the glory days of partying over at the Manor.
The man's immature. He's
My
immature.
early 30s.
The early 30s. Speaking of VHS tapes to convert to DVD, the Blu-ray, that tape. I have it upstairs.
What?
Your 30th birthday party VHS tape.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
You still got. You
Yeah,
got to
bro.
send that over to. Well, we got to get that digitized.
For real.
I can digitize it.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Oh, I'll see it. I'll see it in like 3 years if he mails it.
No, Social Security by the time you get it.
So we also have Angry Townsman hanging out. Says, evening, everybody. What's up, Angry?
What's up, baby?
And Marion says, Raven Shadow, I have all 4 seasons of Metalocalypse.
All right, we'll check it out.
And Marion also says, Aqua Teen Hunger Force is hilarious, and Samurai Jack is bomb. Yeah, I love Samurai Jack. So good.
They're a lot of fun.
I actually haven't seen Genndy Tartakovsky's series Primal, but I've heard a lot of really good things about that. Same creator who did Samurai Jack.
Wasn't there talk of doing some live action Samurai Jack, or was that just one of those things they kept trying to do and never really?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how. I mean, Aku. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the characters now. Aku was.
Akuma, right? What was
no,
it? Aku.
it's Aku.
Oh, yeah, Akuma was Street Fighter.
I'm looking up see if there's Samurai Jack.
Gotta get back, Samurai Jack, motherfuckers, you motherfuckers.
I don't think that was in there.
That's they're trying to be outrageous when they come back. They have a lot more cocks.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. It's fun, but I enjoyed that. We watched all that. We watched that.
Are you suffering from a lack of oxygen down there, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, it's different. There's less air downstairs. It's weird. A lot of carcinogens.
Oh, I see there. I see a report. This is from a few years ago, though. But it says that there was a Samurai Jack live action series in development back in 2020.
Oh wow!
So I have no idea. Oh, it says Warner Brothers just launched its new streaming service, HBO Max. Blah 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 blah. So I doubt it's still in active development. I bet the pandemic probably killed it, and then they just never came back.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's good shit. One thing, it's just to sort of like change topics here real quick. I was actually surprised, MZ, that you didn't lead off with something else for the intro, and that is the unfortunate passing of Paul Rubens.
Yeah, we could talk about that. I didn't want to make that the intro and bring everybody on a down note. You know, I mean, everybody's very aware that he died. I just didn't want to that. You know, I mean, we could discuss it now because you know we're balls deep into the show now. So,
wow.
So when you're balls deep, any subject is on the table.
Yeah,
that's where you can really get into it.
That's apparently what he's saying.
Yep.
Yeah. That's at the balls deep hour.
Yeah. Balls deep moment show.
Yeah.
We're gonna let it all hang out.
we need some kind of theme music. And now we're balls deep. Like
like a little jingle or something.
Yeah. Like
oh, boy.
Balls deep.
This is the balls deep moment.
No.
You
guys can do that in your offshoot podcast.
We have a sponsor. You know, maybe we can finally get like.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a sponsor after doing that.
We could get Manscaped. So many podcasts have the ball trimmer. We could have you know, and this balls deep segment is brought to you by
by Menon.
By Menon.
We could have the jingle sung by the Andrews sisters or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still around.
The Andrew Dice sisters.
Angry Townsman says Rufus and Ronaldo deep. Shudder.
You see?
Well, see, the thing is, because of Rufus and Ronaldo, it actually impairs you from being deep. So it's the opposite,
Pretty
right?
much.
Yeah, you're like perpetually floating.
It's actually shallow. It's Rufus and Ronaldo shallow.
Yeah, it's like in the event of a water crash, Masazero's balls could be used as flotation devices.
Let me tell you, these fucking things get in the way constantly.
Oh,
sure, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
You have no idea. It gets to be a burden after.
It gets to be a burden. What's this fucking guy?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
You're kind of like the Atlas of testicles.
Is it Tony?
I
Atlas?
am.
You're the Tony Atlas of testicles.
Except I swing them around my back, around my shoulder, and I'm holding them like this.
This guy's gonna fucking practice shot put to take a fucking piss.
So one thing I've always wondered is, MZ, like, what have you compared your balls to know they're so big? Like, I'm just kind of curious. Like, what? Like, have you done comparisons? Like,
well, all right. I'll tell you when I first noticed it. Okay, I'll tell you when. I first noticed
see, we're getting the origin tonight. Screw this.
It was a summer night. The breeze was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the death of Paul Rubens, and here we are talking about.
talking about the origin of Ronaldo.
What a beautiful sentiment to for eulogy. This is nice.
Beautiful sediment.
I mean,
Sentiment.
it's perfect transitional material, if you ask me.
Yeah.
No. How did I find out about it? It was watching porn.
Oh my fucking god!
This is the truth. It's from watching porn, because I would watch these scenes go down, and I I noticed
Oh god!
how small everyone's balls were. It was
Yeah.
like,
There's a reason for that, you asshole.
no.
I think
know
he
it.
has normal balls, and he thinks all along
Oh.
that they've been big.
No. You're not. I know where you're going with this. And I get it. But I'm telling you, I know what you're saying. Look at him hiding his face.
I am. I can't believe this. That's how you fucking got it.
That's when I first got the idea. That's when I first got the idea of it.
It's a safe space, Monster Zero. Keep going.
And not
No
to
one else is
mention,
listening. It's okay.
Just
I
us.
could- Pants. My underwear could never fit right. My pants could never fit.
What are they Pampers? Like they not stretch? Why don't you have paper underwear? What the fuck is going on here?
I've been
Underwear are
wearing
made to
box-
stretch.
I've been wearing boxers, and not the kind that doesn't stretch. The kind that does. Like the Tommy Hilfigers and.
Tommy Hilfiger. And I'm Cindy Lauper.
Tommy Hilfiger.
I'm Tommy Hilfiger.
I'm Tommy Hilfiger.
What was that band they made from Apple Records? Was it Bad Figer? What was that band?
Bad fuck.
HR Figer?
And we'll be joined by the band Foo Figers.
Foo Figers.
Foo Fighters.
Hilfiger.
On top of that, all right, all right,
Back to the balls.
but also
Back to the balls.
with
Speaking of
every
Samurai
girl I've
Jack,
ever been-
back to the balls.
Back to the balls.
every girl I've ever been with, they commented on it.
God.
So
What did they say?
Have you ever
At
got
what
checked
point?
out for elephantitis?
Yeah. Wasn't they first put their hand down your pants, or was it like when that
It's like Bo is afraid, right?
Yeah, Baby Shadow's afraid.
Believe me, it's a deal. You know how like
A package
I-
deal.
I saw what you did there. How like girls say their breasts are too big and it gets to be a burden and a problem. Well, this is a problem.
Okay. Okay.
Is he gonna get a ball reduction surgery?
These are the unlucky ones. Your testicles and you.
Oh my god! Wow.
But you know what?
Wow.
I praise Monster Zero for being brave, and he's coming out with something that a lot of men, no men, but one man is afflicted by, and that's important.
Elephantitis.
Yeah, you're brave. Thank you.
Very brave man, MZ.
Believe me, I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to start Mr. Belvedereing my balls.
What?
It's going to happen. At
Wait,
some
What is
point.
that?
You never heard about
What
it?
is Mr. Belvedereing your balls?
Instead of Mr. Belvedere, okay, Christopher Hewitt, who plays the titular character of Mr. Belvedere, one time he sat down and he had to be rushed to the hospital. Bob Uecker has talked about this, and he had to be rushed to the hospital like lickety split, quick. And the reason is because he accidentally sat on his balls.
That can hurt, though.
Yes, it can hurt. Yeah. I've come close a couple of times.
I've almost kicked myself in the balls a couple of times.
How the hell do you?
Yeah, how do you almost kick? What the fuck? You guys
More
are,
of like a heel kick.
you guys are fucked up.
I got long
heel
legs,
kick.
Wolfie.
Evil Courtney says, I assumed MZ discovered his balls were big after accidentally flushing them down the toilet. Right now, I think his undies are too small. You thought about going to an XL MZ? Double XL maybe?
Well, no amount of roto-rootering is going to take care of that problem.
Jesus.
Believe me, it's a bitch sometimes. It really is. I mean, I can't lay down on my stomach sometimes. You know, it's a problem.
Yeah, I think you got to get checked out.
Ladies.
Or I know it's not because of a lack of, touching yourself, because you talk about that all the time. So I know it's not that. Linky's backed up.
I
Oh,
got
God.
that. I got that pretty well covered.
This is a very illuminating episode. This is what happens after you do 11 years of a podcast together.
This is a great follow. This is a great fucking like after Raw.
Yeah,
After
we had-
WrestleMania.
We had so much
This is a
fun
great-
last week, and here we are talking about MZ's balls again.
I mean, I want to go back to Paul.
Thank you.
but-
yes, thank you.
I want to, believe me. I fucking killed that sitcom, 6 Degrees of Sitcom.
Whoa.
You did, yeah, you did. Although they could have actually beat you. There is still a chance for them to have beaten your team, but I feel like you guys could have done it. You took a chance, Raven Shadow, in trying to guess it in less degrees, and it didn't pay off. If you had guessed it in if you had just gone one more degree and gotten it, you guys would have actually won.
Right. It was just fair. And once again, Monster, you were great because like you know a lot more people's names, you know, but I was fucking close with the fucking Dudley thing, but I've not really seen every single Friday the 13th movie either. I know he's probably in it, or I saw it, but not in years.
Yeah, Shavar Ross. He was in part 5.
Yeah. You said you were great, but like truly, had we didn't lose. We didn't take any points around. It either would have been closer, or we would have, or the podcast entertainers, you know, would have did a surprise, 2004 Red Sox.
All right, let's get to Paul.
Your sports references are so dated. Like you need to not use them or update them.
Well, I like those references.
Yeah, but no one but us probably knows what the 2004 Red Sox did.
Well, Google it. It was really important.
And they've won 3 World Series.
Yeah, they've won 3 World Series since.
Well, then we'll look at the 2007 Red Sox, okay? With Paps. What?
2007,
Yeah.
2013, 2018.
2018, yeah.
Yeah, we were live on air when that happened. That was dope.
Oh yeah, it was. So update your references. Okay.
All right, good.
MZ, you want to
Johnny's-
talk about Paul Rubens?
Yeah.
Speaking of my balls,
Yeah. Andy!
knitting.
Yeah.
Andy!
We were all shocked to hear about Paul Rubens, the death of Paul Rubens. It's a real shame, you know. I mean, he was sick for a long time, had cancer.
Yeah.
And,
you know what's crazy is I actually didn't know he was 70. Like
right?
I know he was older. You know, I mean, we've had him in our lives since we were young. Like as a TV. Like he was in
Entity.
Pee Wee Herman in like the Cheech and Chong movies and and whatnot, but yeah, it's I just he seems like he's almost ageless, right? Because of the character he plays. And so I didn't realize he was so old. And 70 is not, I mean, that's like, it's not like 46 or like 58 or whatever. Like 70s,
Right.
you've lived a pretty decent life, but yeah, I didn't know. I mean, no one knew that he was struggling with cancer. He kept it secret, or
Right.
out of the spotlight, I should say.
And the age was really surprising. Like I'm not that much, but he's older than my parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think all of us were the age that discovered him, and then finding out all his past work, like in Meatballs,
His
Blues Brothers,
his original like special that was like raunchy,
real raunchy.
real raunchy, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was his character all over. He was not like the kid friendly. I mean, yeah, he was kid friendly. He was a child at heart, but he was a dirty comic for a little while. I mean, not totally.
Not dirty, but like pervy. Like it was more not pervy. A little more racier.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Kind of like, I mean, for those Johnny might get mad at me, but like the original Mutant Turtles comic book versus the cartoon show, they got
Why would I get mad
a little
at you?
more toned up. Because I think you're a little upset with me tonight, and it's okay.
I'm not upset with you.
I thought you were a little upset with me,
No.
but I love you.
But I mean, he was in Pandemonium. He was in Midnight Madness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
I think it was Still Smoking. He was in.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and then he struck gold with that 81 HBO special, and
And
of
I
course,
remember-
Captain Carl was Phil Hartman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And fucking
Also
Morpheus.
Oh yeah.
and it also
Larry Fish.
had Lawrence Fishburne wasn't on that show,
Oh, he was on
he
the
was on-
TV show.
Oh yeah, wow,
Yeah.
but also Edie McClurg was also on that 81 show as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Lynn Moody and John Paragon, who was old friends with Paul. In fact, I posted it, and I don't think anybody commented on it or even liked it. But I posted the time when Paragon and Rubens were on the Gong Show.
Oh yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. They were on the Gong Show together, and they were great.
Yeah.
And and then of course he hit it big, and then got Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Tim Burton's debut film, and that became a smash hit. Then the show, then his they jerked off in a movie theater.
Nothing you wouldn't do.
I
haven't.
Yeah.
I would never do that. Sanctity of my own home, I would.
But I mean, I remember going to see Big Adventure with my parents and just totally getting it. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know how that would play nowadays, but I think it was that right time. I think we had a friend of ours made a comment on Facebook, wrote about the characters of the 80s and Pee-wee fit in that, and then loving the show. Like where you had Larry Fish, you had Rob Zombie was early on painting the sets, cutting his teeth on that.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Which
makes a lot of sense, right? Like it kind of
Right.
in a weird roundabout way does.
and it was weird. It was one of those weird things where, like, unlike punk rock, we like it because it's violent and aggressive, and our parents don't get it. And I'm sure, like, our parents maybe our grandparents probably didn't get Pee-wee when it was on, but it just worked. John B, the fucking, the B-52s chick, Miss Yvonne.
Miss Yvonne.
In fact, he never did lose that slight raunchiness.
Yeah, it
There's,
was just toned down, I think.
It was toned down. Yeah, it was one scene. I forget who it was. It was
Subversive.
Yeah.
It was a celebrity at the time, and he played like a plumber. who came over to fix the pipes over at,
Oh yeah, I remember this one. Yeah.
I forget who it was. It was a Latin actor. I forget who it was, a Spanish actor. But anyway, he's a good looking guy and everything. I forget damn it, I forget who it was. But Miss Yvonne is saying something like, "Well, I hope you have all your tools ready to do the job in the playhouse." And he says something, the idea of like, a plumber always remembers to bring his tool. And then he looks at her with side eye and says, "And he knows how to use it." Oh, fuck, I can't remember. Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm trying to look it up. Did he appear more than once, or is it just like a one-time deal?
Just that one time. I can't. It was a Spanish actor. I can't remember him. He was famous.
Antonio Banderas.
No, not Antonio Banderas. Oh fuck! What was his name? I can't remember.
Paul Rodriguez.
No, not Paul Rodriguez.
I'm looking it up to see if there's a lot of people that were on it, so it might take a little bit.
John Leguizamo.
No, not John Leguizamo. But you're getting.
Oh, was it Jimmy Smits?
Jimmy Smith.
The great Jimmy Smits.
That's
Oh wow.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Steve James was in an episode too.
For real? Oh, I think I remember that
He
one.
played a character named Derek. Jimmy Smits was Johnny Wilson was his character's name.
Ah, okay.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, right. Of course, we should have known that. Smith, that's who it was. Yeah.
Speaking of updated baseball references, Troy O'Leary. Who saw that coming?
Jesus Christ.
Still living in 2004, dude. Get out of there.
Oh, it was awesome.
Let me see if we can find a clip of Jimmy Smits on that.
The only reason why I remember that scene is because that scene was used to advertise Pee-wee's Playhouse coming out for the first time on VHS. And there was Yvonne and Terry, Randy, I think, were all there to promote the selling of VHS set. And this is after it's got busted for jerking off in a adult movie theater. So, he was kind of laying low at the time. But they went out and they were like, we'll promote this VHS set for you. But they used that clip to promote it, which killed me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's fucked up because that's kind of one of the first like celebrities to get canceled, air quotes, right? In a way, like he got fucked. At least from our generation, like
he got royally boned. No, to put no pun on it. He really got screwed. Again,
and it was that. And speaking of not like somebody else who also passed, like the great Sinead O'Connor, like got fucking screwed. Turned out to be fucking totally fucking right, by the way. But like
she was ahead of her time with that.
It's like I was talking to someone the other day. I'm like, fucking, was she wrong? Like, huh? And the one cat that stood up for fucking Blade's boy, fucking Chris Christopherson, good brother. But it's funny, both passing and both were examples of 1980s canceldom. But Pee-wee did come out swinging though when he fucking did his comeback. The whole heard any fucking good jokes lately? Fuck you. That was some like Eminem 8 Mile shit for your face. Fuck you. You got nothing on me now. Fuck you, dog. You know?
Yeah, I love Paul Rubens. I really did. I thought he was a fantastic actor, funny, inventive. Oh
shit!
I found it. Hold on. It's 4 minutes. It's 4 minutes though, so I may need to kind of scrub through. But let me play it.
Let's see what else I bought. Yeah.
The name of this video is Pee Wee's Playhouse Innuendo and Adult Humor, and it's like a 4-minute compilation.
Uh,
Lemonade. From the corner fudge is made.
Here
Come in your
comes
mouth.
this beautiful woman in Puppet Land.
Yippee, Mr. Fun!
Miss Yvonne.
Hi, Mr. Fun.
Hello, Pee-wee. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Miss Yvonne.
I just stopped by to help you get ready for the party, Pee-wee.
Thanks. How come you're not wearing your pajamas?
Oh, I brought everything with me.
Oh wait, I found it. Hold on.
Conky, are you okay?
Well, I'm feeling kind of lightheaded.
Hi. I'm almost finished here, Cookie.
Well, who is this?
Johnny Wilson, authorized conky repairman at your service, Miss.
Yvonne.
I just have a few more switches to tighten up here. A wrench. Where's my...
Is that a wrench in your pocket?
That's a wrench. Thank you very much, Miss
Yvonne.
Yvonne. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
I guess that was it.
Dude, I'm so hard right now.
Jesus.
that a wrench in your pocket.
No, it's my cock.
Wow. That got dark.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's. I mean, he's done so many other great things. Like in in
LA Law.
in the
Oh,
chat
no.
in the chat room, Angry Townsman says he was great in Mystery Men and Buffy
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
As-
The original Buffy.
as the spleen in Mystery Men.
A spleen.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Batman Returns.
What's that?
He was in Batman Returns.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Also, I'm trying to think of the.
Well, he was
character's name now.
such a heel in Blow.
Yeah,
Um,
well, that's true. That's true. I almost forgot about that.
He was great. The best line, who's doing your hair now? But like he totally fucking cut out fucking Depp.
It was
Yeah, totally.
Shoot, what? I'm trying to. Oh, he was also What We Do in the Shadows.
The Council, Vampire Council.
Yeah, that was awesome. He was Locke. That was the character in Nightmare Before Christmas. And I've actually seen.
Oh.
There's a video of him and Catherine O'Hara and Danny Elfman doing, the song that they do together. And they did it live on stage, which is really awesome. So it's got let's see, Paul Rubin says Locke, Catherine O'Hara. What was her character's name? Was it Stock? I forget the.
Oh,
character.
I didn't know it was Lock, Stock, and Barrel.
Yeah,
I
Lock,
didn't
Stock,
know
and
they
Barrel.
were.
That's it. Yeah. I forget which is which though, but yeah, they did it live. It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, dude was like, I mean, he was ahead of his time, I think, for sure, and he was really sort of like a comedy genius in a way that isn't maybe as obvious as like other comedy geniuses. So, yeah, I just think he's. I mean, it's a shame, like he was great. I don't care, but whatever. He jerked off in a fucking porn theater, whatever. Like. He didn't storm the fucking White House, like
Right.
It's something. Should he have done it? No, especially given what he was doing at the time as a host of a children's show. But it happened, But I mean, there's a lot worse things that he could have done, and back then, that's kind of what you had to do to get canceled. Finger quotes canceled.
Right.
Was to be.
Yeah, but he did that for that very reason. He wanted Pee Wee's Playhouse to get canceled. He knew that would do it without.
No, that was not. It wasn't a fucking Deadly Game like Vince McMahon plot.
No, that's the reason. That's the reason.
No, dude.
Yeah, he said he was getting tired of playing Pee Wee Herman. He was getting tired of it, and he didn't want to do it. The only way he was going to be able to do it is by doing something that was going to get him in a whole lot of trouble, get a whole lot of negative press, but at the same time, not hurt anybody.
Dude, I don't believe that was a plan for him to do that.
Yeah, no, that was from my understanding. That was all planned.
No, I think he was on break. He grew his hair out, got a goatee. There was no internet back then. You want to fire up a couple of rounds, then get a sandwich.
That was evil Pee Wee.
That was dirty. Yeah, that was the mirror.
Yeah.
Episode 264, the dark fucking playhouse episode. And then like fucking. Granted, things happened later on in years, but Roseanne got canceled for doing like her shtick at the ballpark. Everyone flipped out over that shit.
Well, I mean, she's done worse stuff since, but that
Well,
was kind of silly. Yeah, I agree. Like
at that time,
right.
you have a comedian coming out. Okay, she's doing gimmick. She's doing shtick.
Yeah, and and it's sort of like the funny thing is like I forget the dude's name. What was that dude who ran for president? Oh,
McCain.
No, I don't think it was McCain.
Yeah, I think it was.
No, it wasn't John McCain. No.
No, it wasn't.
He was
McCain.
a Democrat.
No, he was a Republican.
I thought he was a Democrat.
He was in the he was a hostage. He was
It wasn't John
POV.
McCain. It wasn't him.
Was McCain. It was not McCain. It totally destroyed his career.
Yeah, he had to pull out of the race because of that, because he just did and everyone was just like, couldn't believe
inappropriate.
Yeah. Oh shit! What Howard Dean.
That's it.
2004, Howard Dean. He was Democrat. He was.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
No, he was the chairman of the Democratic National Committee.
Oh, I always thought he was a Republican. And we're going to take over Wisconsin, and we're going to take over, and we're going to take over Vermont, and we're going to take over South Carolina, and North Carolina, and Texas, and California, and we're going to go across the United States. Yeah.
Here it is.
You know something? If you had told us 1 year ago that we were going to come in third in Iowa, we would have given anything for that. And you know something? Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Harkin, we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. And we're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
Yeah.
Why?
Look at that enthusiasm.
Why did that get him fucking canned?
I don't know. That gets
Flash forward. I'm going to grab you by the pussy.
Yeah, no shit. Fast forward,
gets,
like fucking how many fucking indictments?
Yeah.
Raven Shadow, a little inside baseball. Can you move the mic away from your mouth just a little bit? We hear you breathing. It's a little creepy.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I think that you don't want to put it too high. Just can you put it outward a little bit so your breath isn't right in its Okay, try that. But I just can't, like, to me it's just insane. Like, that's what did it. Like, it was funny at the time. I was like, oh, that's pretty ridiculous that he did that, but like for what happened to have happened is just like crazy, I don't know if he would have had
shelled.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have had a chance. Like, I don't really remember what things were like back then, but it's that is the thing that fucking derailed it. Is fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
And what did wasn't there a Dukakis gimmick where he was driving a tank and like that could fucking piss people off too?
I don't remember that. I don't know. It's not to say that it didn't happen. I just don't remember.
Yeah, there was some gimmick where he was driving like MZ's awesome mic as well.
And nowadays, you got Donald Trump, and he's saying, and I'm going to grab this pussy, and I'm going to grab that 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 pussy, and I'm going to rape everybody. Yeah! And
Jesus Christ.
And people will vote for him. It doesn't.
Well, I mean, the dude has like how many criminal charges against him right now, and people are still willing to vote for him. He's still
he's got 74.5.
He's still leading polls like as like the best candidate for Republicans. It's absolutely insane.
It is. It really is.
How would Dean pick up?
I know, right? It's crazy. So I want to start to, we're getting a little bit long in the tooth here in the intro, so I want to start to wind this down. But one thing I wanted to mention at the top here, because I don't know, I might forget about it. I went to the theater for the first time since the pandemic. So it was last time I went was February 2020. I went to see Gretel and Hansel. That was the last film I saw in the theater. I actually looked in my app when I was an A-lister.
So was it when you came back? Was it like when they brought John Wick in? Like, oh, hello, Mr. Wolfenstein.
No,
Are you
I'm not
back on the job?
Oh, I'm not an A-lister now. So
here's your seat, and here's your coin.
I don't pay for that. I mean, because it's like 20.
Mr. Wolfenstein is no longer an A-lister. Send him to the regular seats, and that's where all the sticky floors and the stale pit.
With the ones where Paul Rubin just was before me.
You're in the Paul Rubin section. Yes. Welcome to the Continental.
In the Paul Rubin suite.
Extra sticky.
Mr. Wolfenstein, you are no longer an A-lister. You get sent to the Paul Rubin section. Extra sticky.
Here's the slip and slide. Go down.
And here's your complimentary stale popcorn.
Here is a single squirt of... wait. Maybe I should have used squirt. Here is a single squirt of hand sanitizer. That's all you get.
Here's half a mask, and here
half a napkin, and
it's not
popcorn kernels. No popcorn for you, only kernels.
Here's your pop kernels.
And instead of soda, you get bathwater.
Yeah.
The stuffing coming out of the seats and everything.
That's where the Z-listers go.
Yeah. You'll find your thumbtacks are on the seat.
Oh, you will be in the Paul Rubens Auditorium. Extra sticky.
You get some guy who's sitting behind you wearing a wife beater who's constantly scratching his armpits.
This film is shown in Feel Around. Up next, Deep Throat.
Although the theater in just a few years has gone really downhill. We went to the same theater, and it's like it looks like it's been like aged by like 15 years, even though it's only been like 3. It was in rough shape. Like I thankfully didn't use the bathroom, but Tanya did, and she's like, those bathrooms are rough. There's no I think they were out of like paper towels. There's no soap. Like it was just a fucking mess, like water and shit all over the sink, and and it just like the theater was like pitch dark when we get in, so I couldn't really see, but I could feel like the seat was like kind of ripped, like it was just it's a
oh my god,
it's a relatively newish theater, like maybe 10 years, maybe 15, but yeah, it was rough. But
what'd you go see?
What you want to guess first?
Barbie.
Yes.
Yep.
And you know what? It was the best possible pandemic movie, like post-pandemic movie. And
really,
I gotta tell you, like I won't go into too much about it. I fucking loved it. It was fucking awesome. Ryan Gosling was amazing.
I want to check it out. I really want to check it out.
Yeah, you should. I think both of you guys should. It's and obviously I don't know much about Barbie. Tanya does, as as someone who grew up with them, and
sure.
But there's a lot of, it's one of those deals where I think if you were in the know, you get a lot of the references, but thankfully, like Tanya kind of told me, they use a lot of like the figures that were like discontinued, like some characters that only got like a single release.
Yeah, didn't she have a friend named like Skipper or some shit? Was it some
sister?
like...
I think, yeah,
or
something like that, like sister or friend or something. Michael Cera played a character named Alan, who is like a forgotten character who and he was really funny in it. Yeah, but it's really interesting. It's really well, not surprising. I shouldn't be too surprised. I mean, but it's really sort of in depth and really tackles a lot of themes about toxic masculinity and feminism, and I think it's done really well, and it does it in a way that's fun and shows you sort of like what it looks like from the other side. I don't want to say too much more, but and there's one musical number with Ryan Gosling that is fucking hilarious. And Simu Lee is in it as well, or Simu Liu, is that how you say his name? He was fuck, what's that Marvel character? Shang-Chi. The dude who played Shang-Chi was in it. Yeah, he played. That's cool. He played like a rival Ken to Ryan Gosling's character.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not necessarily my gimmick, but if Marion wants to see it, I'll check it out.
Yeah, Evil Corny says I love the Barbie movie. He says only insecure dudes are hating on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna be like, oh, like they fucking ruin the fucking integrity of the character. I don't. It's not my wheelhouse. It's not a commercials.
The interesting thing about it too is that they kind of poke fun at Mattel at times, and it's Mattel like basically produced it. Like they were bankrolling it. But in some ways, they almost kind of poke fun at themselves, which I think is really meta and interesting that they do that.
Gotta take the piss at the gimmick, like just kind of like.
Yeah. Like Barbie was made to give girls hope and and they can be anything. They can be the president. They can be a doctor,
right.
Whatever. And the interesting thing, this isn't spoiling anything because it's just what Barbie is. And then all the guys were basically just partners. They didn't like there's Beach Ken, and but what did he do? What was he? What did Ken do?
He was a fuck boy, wasn't he?
Well, pretty much. I mean, it's that's why it's interesting when you look at it. Barbie's the ones that's all fleshed out. They have like backstories and they have jobs, and they have like things that they do. Whereas the men, it's the complete opposite, and that's kind of how it is in a patriarchy. The men are are the ones who like if you think back into the maybe more into like the 40s and 50s might be a little bit more apropos, but women were homemakers and mothers, like they were sort of subservient to the male, and they just sort of like played that role where the men did the thing and they were so it's just kind of interesting how that's kind of flipped a little bit.
It'd been cool, like if they kept going with the Barbie brand in the '90s. Maybe she could have been like the first Tomb Raider, or she could be like
well,
Barbie Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, they probably had one. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they had that.
Because like, how old was she? She's kind of like Carol Danvers in the '80s. Like somehow, by the time she was like 28, she was like a fucking colonel in the Air Force. She was an astronaut.
Yeah.
Worked for Shield. Like, when did you start becoming a vigilante? Like Barbie was not a hairdresser, but I think she was a doctor. She might have been an astronaut at some point.
Yeah, totally. She was.
They should she's kind of like Lisa from White Weird Science.
Lisa?
She's never licensed, Barbie.
Oh, Corny says Sugar Daddy Ken is in it. Yeah, there's a fucking Sugar Daddy Ken. So I say people should fucking see it. Like, it's. Maybe it's something I don't know. Like we'll see what the release schedule looks like, but I actually think it would be fun to talk about on the show. But whatever. It's a huge big budget movie. It's doing really well for itself. So I mean, they don't need us to.
Maybe a Patreon.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of really cool movies coming out. There's one just hit theaters, Talk to Me, that I'm really super curious to see. That if it hits VOD soon, maybe we'll do that.
Right.
There's a few other Cobweb hit theaters as well, limited theatrical run. So there's a few out there that are really pretty interesting looking. So we definitely will have no shortage of films to cover. That's for sure.
Cool.
I think Corny saw Talk to Me. So
yeah, he was repping that, I think.
Yeah. All right. Let's start to wrap up. This is related. So last week there was a lot of shit going on last week, as you guys know, with the 11-year anniversary, and I wanted to kind of post about the other things that we were doing, but I was literally working up till the last literal last second before we started the show last week. So some stuff fell through the cracks. But one of those was the next Blackout Tapes, Raven Shadow. So I did finally post a poll, and it looks like Saturday, this Saturday, the 5th. Does it still work for you? Should have got that.
Yeah,
Okay.
baby. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that looks like the best day. 5 people have already, I posted just a few hours ago, and already 5 people have said that's the best day. So I think we'll do Saturday, August 5th for Blackout Tapes. So let's come up with a start time. I told people we'll probably start between 8 and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Does that seem reasonable in that time frame?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I think at least by 9 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So let's say 9. If that needs to change, we'll update you guys. But let's say 9 p.m. on Saturday, August 5th. We'll do Blackout Tapes. You can hang out on the Discord with Michael Ravenshadow and a whole host of other folks, just kind of shooting the shit, talking raw, right, Ravenshadow? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, I'll be fucking getting toe up from the floor up drinking syrup, baby. It's been a while. I feel there's a lot of ground to cover. And Johnny, if somebody wanted to maybe jump in on this conversation, maybe their first time and they want to do it this time, how much does it cost to be part of this fucking? What's the cover charge to this club?
I'm glad that you asked because this is one of those things. The Patreon keeps the show going. We need the support of other people because, as we said last week, we've been doing the show for 11 years and it's not cheap. We stream live. We need software for that. I need extra good internet, which is beyond exorbitantly expensive. It just keeps getting higher and higher. And all the different streaming services and all that stuff. So, it's definitely not cheap. And if you guys could help support, we really appreciate it. And you can just get in for as little as $2 a month. That's the lowest tier, $2 a month. That's it. You sign up, and it just takes out $2 every single month. That's not going to send you into fucking negative, and you're not going to get any fucking what do they call those charges? If you get hit, you go into the negative. What was that? I'm drawing a blank. Overdraft.
Charge.
No, overdraft charge. That's what I'm talking
Overdraft.
about. So you're not going to, $2 isn't going to get you into that overdraft range, So go ahead, sign up. $2. That's it. You can go up to the $5 tier. You can go up to the $10 tier. If you do those, you get additional benefits. $10 tier, you get to do your own fucking Patreon takeover. What's better than that? You can come on the show, pick a movie, pick 2 movies, and then hang out with us if you want to join the show and join the conversation and hang out with us and be a guest co-host. So that's available to you. So give it a look. For as little as $2, you can join in, and you can join the Blackout Tapes. It's going to be a fucking blast.
It was so much fun. That was the first wave, and there's people that show up. It's seriously, it's like a party where it's like, okay, I'm throwing it here. Double D was always one of the first brothers over the manor back in the day, but then it's like, we're doing our thing. Like, oh shit, this guy shows up. Oh, Snoop. I thought you were in jail, but you're out.
Whoa.
I'm saying the manor was different. But it gets exciting. It's exciting, really. Like $2. Like you can probably get one taco at Taco Bell with like change, or it's what you tip your barista.
Your Dave Barista.
Your Dave Barista.
Yeah, seriously, it's nothing, and it'll help support the show, and you get a bunch of extra stuff. So not only do you get access to the Blackout Tapes, but you also get access to all the Patreon exclusive episodes, and we're recording this weekend, so there'll be a new one out coming soon. So yeah, it just gets you all that cool stuff. So give it a look. Yeah. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. That's patreon.trickortreatradio.com. And it also gives you access to all of the Discord channels. So we have a Patreon supporter only where, we usually ask for people to help out. Like last week for the table read, the Patreon supporters were the people who got asked first to, or not first, but the only ones who got asked to help out on that. And when we do the Halloween show, we always do some sort of some cool intro. We always ask for help from Patreon supporters for that. And so it's really gonna get you in on that and get to help choose times and when we do things and and pick movies and stuff like that. So give it a look, and you can't go wrong for $2.
Oh, it's a backstage pass to SAS and to choose your own adventure.
An ass.
An ass. It's a backstage pass for ass.
No shit.
It's the backstage pass, Dino.
My balls are blue with anticipation.
Oh shit! You know what? It's absolutely
Insane? Bitch, need your nuts.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have fun with these clips. I'm gonna keep them in there, I think.
Ugh.
MZ, what are you doing over there?
MZ is taking a shit.
Oh man. It's a water gun. Oh man. All right. So So if you guys want to join the Blackout Tapes, there you go. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. Give it a look. Support. And the other ways you can support, you can go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session after clicking on our link will give us a tiny little cut. It doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help us keep going for 11 more shows.
11 more shows? Is that it?
At least.
11 more years, no?
Yeah, 11 more, yeah. I think we at least got 11 more shows in us.
Okay, well, we'll start there and then see how it goes.
Yeah.
So, give that a look and use the Amazon link. It definitely helps. A lot of you guys are shopping on Amazon anyways. It doesn't, it's just an extra little step. Click on it. We get a cut for directing you there. And finally, we have the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. You can find those on trickortreatradio.com. Just click on store, bring it right there. You got the digital storefront. 11 years of doing the show, lots of shit on there. We don't expect you to go back and listen to every single episode. 575 episodes plus all the extras. There's probably 610 episodes by now or something like that. So we don't anticipate that everyone's going to go back and do that. Hey, if you want to, be my guest. But that's a lot of fucking content. So actually, let me see how much content. There are a total of, let's see, this counts the Star Wars shows. I know that's a little, now that there's a Star Wars podcast, a little gray area if they should still count.
No, they still count. It's part of the one-shots. It's
true,
part of the
true.
Yeah,
that was
annuals.
Yeah, I guess that was, because the Star Wars podcast was an offshoot of Trick or Treat Radio after those. So, yeah, it counts. So that means with all the Patreon episodes, we have 655 episodes. So that's a lot.
That's a lot of fucking hours, bro, right? That's a fucking...
You know how many hours it is? It's 1,931 hours.
So how many days is that?
Let me do the math. And it's 1,931 hours, 37 minutes, and 45 seconds. But I'll just do the hours. So if we do 1,931 hours divided by 24, right? It's 80.45 days. So you could start Trick or Treat Radio from the very beginning, and you would play it 24/7 for 80 and a half days. That's how long it would get. That's how long it would get you.
It's almost 2 years. Now, how much more would you pay? Because if we had the Patreon episodes...
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Those are included in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so the 655 episodes includes Patreon. So let me check up on the chat rooms, then we're going to head to break. Angry Townsman says Voyage of the Demeter hits theaters next week. Yeah, I'm excited about that. The latest Andre Overdahl film about that one chapter in Dracula. So that looks really interesting. And Corny says, I loved Talk to Me. He says, not in jail, just in Alabama. Not in jail. Was I did I miss something, or did I forget what that's in reference to?
I forget what it came out. I think I said it, but
Yeah, you probably did. So there you go. Those are the ways you can support the show. Lots of ways. But you know what? If you want to join the Blackout Tapes, it's a fucking blast. You got to come to at least one of them in your lifetime. So if you listen to the show and you haven't done so yet, just go to patreon.trickortreatradio.com, sign up. $2 a month. That's it. It'll get you in, and it'll get you into the Blackout Tapes. And then you get bonus episodes every single month. All right, Michael Raven Shadow. So you sit down and watch the latest Nicolas Cage movie. I know you're excited. You like Joel Kinnaman, fucking Rick Flag. He also was RoboCop in the RoboCop remake. What do you do to prepare for this fucking movie, Sympathy for the Devil?
oh man, I bust out some Rolling Stones, brother. That's what I'm getting to. You know what I mean? I do love me some Joel Kinnaman, even back when he was doing The Killing on
Joel
the
Kinnaman.
FX.
How hard is that to say?
Joel Kinnaman. I got fucking medical problems, Wolfie. You know what I mean? And like, there's a character that I've played. It must have just rubbing his eyes. Like, this is so much shorter than your fucking long intro on the fucking Metalocalypse. But fucking, this is a character that I've played over the years. That if I couldn't play him,
who Al Cool?
No, I would look for a downtown man like Joel Kinnaman, because we got some similarities. So you better believe, get my Cage on, my Joel on. Strapped on.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gidgiest listening experience, you got to check out Trick or Treat Radio.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
I could be staying outside a woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me.
Did you say a bouquet of dildos?
We are back on Trick or Treat Radio. Look at that. Everyone's back. Everyone's back on time. Amazing. This whole new setup means Raven Shadow doesn't have to go for a smoke break anymore.
Sexy, right?
All right, so we're going to be talking about Sympathy for the Devil. You know what's funny is I don't know if I mentioned that in the intro. I don't think I mentioned what movie we're doing. My bad. But anyways, I mean, if you're listening to this, chances are like you read the show notes or saw the post on the website or on social media. So Sympathy for the Devil is from 2023. This film is 90 minutes. It is directed by Yuval Adler. It is written by Luke Paradise, and it stars Nicolas Cage, Joel Kinnaman, Alexis Zollicoffer, Cameron Lee Price, Oliver McCallum, Burns. That's his name. That's what it says. Rich Hopkins, and that's pretty much it. The synopsis: after being forced to drive a mysterious passenger at gunpoint, a man finds himself in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse where it becomes clear that not everything is as it seems. So this action thriller, as I mentioned, from director Yuval Adler. I'm not familiar with Yuval, but he's done, he did a film called The Secrets We Keep, and that featured, once again, Joel Kinnaman in it, as well as Noomi Rapace.
Oh.
And Amy Seimetz. What do I know that name? Amy Seimetz. Oh, she was in that movie Upstream Color we did, and Pet Sematary, the remake from a few years ago. I have seen her. Oh, and she's in the show Sweet Tooth. I've seen her in a few things. But anyways, so he did that flick. I'm not familiar with it, but it looks like it's on Hulu. It's got some decent reviews. And what else did he do? He's got a few films under his belt. He did The Operative from 2019. Features Diane Kruger and Martin Freeman. I like Martin Freeman.
Oh, shit.
And see if there's anything else. What's up?
Didn't he play for Megadeth?
That's Marty Friedman. This is Martin.
Oh, shit.
Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman played fucking
Black Panther. He was
he was Happy. Is that his name? No,
he
Happy.
was,
I was thinking of the other. I was thinking what's that dude's fucking
Favreau.
name? Yeah,
he was the agent. He was the guy from the Marvel Knights book, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to. What the fuck is his name?
He also played Holmes in Sorry Linus in the Benedict Cumberbatch.
Everett K. Ross. That's it.
The great Everett K. Ross, and he was actually Ali G's boy in the Ali G movie.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
That's funny because I haven't seen Ali G since the movie since like before I knew who Martin Freeman was, and he also played Dildo Baggins. I mean Bilbo Baggins.
Wowzers! That was also Lord of the G-Strings, which is a real movie.
He was also in The World's End.
Yeah. He's one of their boys.
Yep. But no, I like him. I like Martin Freeman. He's good.
Yeah.
And he was also in that what was that movie that we did? Something Ghost. Oh, what was the name of that fucking movie? I liked it. I don't know. I don't remember if you guys all did. Ghost Stories. That's it.
Oh, the anthology?
Oh.
It wasn't an anthology, no. It was it was a creepy movie. I remember that. There was a scene. Oh man, yeah, it's all foggy. It's from 2017, but I remember really. Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. It might actually be. He might be right. MZ says after receiving a file with details of 3 unexplained cases of apparitions, skeptical Professor Philip Goodman embarks on a terrifying trip. So I think they're not necessarily anthology, like different things, but he's exploring 3 different stories. So I can see why you might think that. But yeah, anyways, I don't want to focus too much on Martin Freeman.
Regardless.
Anyways, so the director has done some films. Looks like The Operative is on Tubi. So Yuval Adler has got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is his 5th film, and he's done some TV stuff as well. A series called Shooter from USA.
Oh
with
yeah,
Ryan,
based on the movie.
Ryan Felipe.
Ryan Phillippe.
Yeah. Is it Felipe or Philippe?
Felipe. Ryan Felipe.
Yeah. So that was that one.
Who was killer in the way. My mom loves fucking Shooter, the TV show.
Really?
Yeah, she's a huge mark. She's like, did you watch The Shooter?
That's funny.
And yeah, she's a huge mark.
Is Shooter McGavin in it? Because that would be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
All right, let's jump into this. So we get now Nick Cage is like, he's sort of back, right? Like, would you say he's kind of back in Hollywood, and he can kind of do whatever he wants at this point? Would you say that that's fair, or is he still having to do some lower budget stuff?
I think he's still doing some more low budget stuff. I mean, yeah, Renfield came out and it hit theaters and everything like that, but it's not his big
return.
That is his big comeback. His big comeback it will come. It's just not here yet. So, I mean, obviously Renfield is the biggest of the small films that he has done because it has hit theaters. It did get a wide release. But he doesn't, and he was the marquee name on the film, but he also wasn't, he was a supporting character.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage has a movie coming up called Lords of War with Bill Skarsgård. They're the only two announced. And Skarsgård's Bill is definitely he's he's an A-lister.
That's the sequel to his picture when he played the arms dealer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It says an arms dealer. Yeah.
Lord of War. It was him and Jared Leto were brothers.
Oh, okay.
I saw that in theaters.
It's directed by Andrew Niccol, who's interesting because he's written a lot of good movies. He wrote Gattaca, The Truman Show. So and I think he's directing it.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's hard to say comeback nowadays, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
It's a different. The platform has changed. And I think Cage kind of got his new bones with Mandy, with some of those earlier pictures we talked about, and dude doesn't have to give a fuck. He does what he wants to fucking do, and I think coming off after the movie did with Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal, the unbearable lightness or
unbearable lightness
of
unbearable
whatever the fuck
of talent. I think
unbearable weight.
Yeah.
I think he's just doing some indie shit, and I think Joel has a little bit of steam coming off of the Suicide Squad. Maybe RoboCop might have been a financial failure against predictions, but let's say The Killing was a great show, and I think both these guys come with a little bit of steam, and I love this is my shit, man. This is some gangsta fucking shit. So I'm as excited. I didn't know anything about this picture going into it, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know anything either. Also, one other. I just want to. I'm not going to go through Nick Cage's upcoming films, all of them, but he's got another one called Longlegs, which is directed by Oz Perkins. And
we know him.
Yeah, the son of Anthony Perkins, and he did The Blackcoat's Daughter.
Yeah. Okay.
And what was and Gretel and Hansel, the last movie I saw in the theater before the pandemic.
Yep.
So yeah, and he's definitely an up and comer. People have been really raving about his work, and seems like he's getting bigger stuff now. This movie actually sounds pretty cool. Longlegs. FBI agent Lee Harker is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes unexpected turns, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer and must stop him before he strikes again. So it sounds cool. It's got definitely good cast. Micah Monroe, Blair Underwood, Alicia Witt.
Oh shit!
So this looks good. Looking forward to that. But anyways, let's get back to Sympathy for the Devil. And so this is, I don't know when this was filmed, but it looks like there's some interesting behind the scenes stuff about this that I didn't get a chance to really dig into. But this was shot, let me just pull this up real quick, if I can find the article again. But it was shot in like sort of like a mini volume. Like the volume is what they use for Disney to do like The Mandalorian and like, a lot of these Star Wars shows. So it's basically, I think you guys probably understand. I don't know if I'm over explaining just by saying it, but it's essentially using green screen technology, but taking it like several steps further. So instead of having a green screen behind you, you actually have like a monitor behind you. It's like a huge wall monitor, and they can project, like they use video game engines, and they project backgrounds onto the volume screen. Yeah. And that's what they do in The Mandalorian. Most of the stuff from The Mandalorian shot in the volume. So it's actually shot in front of the camera, and the monitors that make up the wall are so high definition that it looks real. So that's what they do, is that they built like sort of like a mini volume, if we want to call it that, or stagecraft, I think is what they call it now. But they built that, I think it was in Nevada. I think they filmed this, if I'm not mistaken. So, like they did some cool stuff with that, and I didn't actually, when I was watching, I couldn't tell. It's one of those things you just can't tell. It's so seamless that it looks like a legitimate background, and you can control the lighting. So, I know you guys don't necessarily know what game engines can do, but you can create any environment. You can change the lighting, you can change the shadow, you can change whatever. So if someone's like, you know what, like this scene's good, but let's just make it a little bit darker, and then someone goes up to a computer and like just cuts the light down a little bit, or get the sun from a different angle to create some cool shadows. You just go right up to the editor, and then you just move it, and then boom, that's it. And then it updates in real time. And that's how they're shooting movies nowadays. In a lot of, not all movies, but they're starting to work this technology in. And the benefit of this is, in green screen, you're just acting against a screen. Like you have no fucking clue what it's going to look like. But when you're actually doing the volume or stagecraft, you can look behind you and you see the environment that you're actually existing in. And I think it really helps the performance.
That's wild, because I didn't see any of that, and like I know that's a gimmick with some Disney Plus shows, and I think watching those, it's a fake environment, it's a sci-fi environment. You buy, at least as for me as a viewer, I buy into the world they're in. Yeah. Like I don't think for a minute they're not in that world. However, they do the movie magic, but in this one, I had no idea. My gut was this was like Nevada area, filming.
Yeah. Well, they talk about Boulder, right? So I wasn't sure.
Colorado.
But Colorado is near, so I guess it depends on where in Nevada they were.
It's out west. You know what I mean? At least out west. But I thought the lighting was great, and the usage of colors. So the fact that they use this gamer technology, I was fooled.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you won't really know. So I guess if there's any negative to it, it's that sometimes it could feel like the world is not three-dimensional. And what I mean is like, so you have to have like, because it's a screen. So if you want to have something in front of you, you have to actually build that thing. So for instance, like if it's a car, you would probably have to do some set design and have a car like in front of you and build that and like put that in place, and then have the scene behind you, so you have to work with it and get some stuff in the foreground and get some propping and things like that. So they're really doing some interesting things. Even if if you haven't seen it, Raven Shadow, I know you watched The Mandalorian season 1, but if you haven't seen the behind the scenes, it's called Disney Gallery. I think it's worth a watch just to see the technology. So
see, like I don't think I want to. I'm so
you don't want to know the magic trick.
Yeah, I don't want to know how the sausage is made. You know what I mean? Like I just want to because I know it's not real, but I I'm engulfed. You know, I'm embracing it. I'm putting a foot up in that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
How about you, MZ? Have you seen this sort of technology before? And did you, I don't know, did you have any thoughts about it?
No, I haven't seen it before, but when it was in this movie, and I did notice something a little different about it. The car scenes, you could see in the background through the driver, the windshield in the rear window, and you could see what's going on back there. And I noticed that there was something different about it, but I couldn't pinpoint what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But all I know is that it looked different to me.
Yeah. Did it look bad?
It didn't. No, it didn't look bad. It looked good. In fact.
So and that's the thing is it looks better than, I think it looks better than green screen. Green screen has come a long way. Like in green screen typically looks decent. Like I don't really have any problems with green screen. It's when there's too much CGI added in front of like in scenes that it starts to really sort of deteriorate the actual believability of it. So yeah, I think that this is a really interesting technology that can do a lot for film. Another person that's utilizing it is Alex Proyas, the director of The Crow and Dark City. I saw that he is building his own basic stagecraft in, I think he's Australian if I'm not mistaken. So I think he is building it back in his home of Australia, and he's building a studio, and he's going to be making his own movies there now and stuff like that. Wow. So it's definitely something that's going to be on the rise. You need to have a lot of technology to do it, so it's not something that you can do like an indie, like an indie picture, because you're not going to be able to buy a huge ass fucking like LCD wall and project, like a game engine on it. But it's something that maybe more studios pick this up and then they rent it out to independent films, at a relatively inexpensive cost to them,
It's just funny. That's really going to change the game. I mean, we're talking about AI and some shit, but like, there's the balance, right, of technology to the human element. But if you could do more with less, maybe less money, maybe the movies really need to cost this much.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see how it starts to work. I mean, I'm sure it'll get more inexpensive as time goes on, where you can like maybe more easily afford like a sort of a LCD wall or whatever, or find other ways to utilize it. But yeah, I think it's interesting technology. They use it for this, and I think that this film to me had a really good look to it. I don't know how much they spent on it. I'll try to look up and see if I can find out what the budget was, but I mean, it had a solid look to it, Also, by the way, Boulder City is in Nevada, so they don't have to go to Colorado, because if they did, that would be a far ride, because they would have to go through Utah first, and Utah is pretty big. So I think they were in Nevada, but there's a Boulder City in Nevada, so makes sense.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's do kind of following the trend the last few weeks. Let's do some sort of like initial impressions of the flick. Like you guys said, I just saw the cast, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. It's a thriller, action thriller with Nick Cage, Joel Kinnaman. Let's do it. Let's see what happens here. And yeah, it's sort of like, I guess in a way, MZ, you might be able to speak about this, because did you get any Hitcher vibes from this? And you can kind of go into your like thoughts of like your initial impression as well.
I didn't think of Hitcher before, but now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree with that. I wasn't thinking of that before, because I was just mesmerized by watching Nicolas Cage. It took me a while to realize, and maybe you guys as well, to realize that his hair was dyed red the entire film.
Yeah. I actually didn't notice at first, but yeah.
Well, not only that, but it's clearly a piece, right? I mean, he definitely had some help. He looked great.
I wouldn't put it past him to actually dye his hair red. You know,
It was red, but that was a piece, though. He had a wig on.
He had some help.
Yeah, he had some help.
Well, yeah, you may be right, but you know, I wouldn't put it past him to do that, to actually dye his hair red.
Yeah,
he's the kind of guy
I wouldn't
who would
either.
do that.
Yeah, I totally think he would, but yeah, I don't know if the whole thing was a piece, but he definitely had some fill-ins.
Yeah, just fine.
The guy's hairline is receding a bit. My initial thoughts of the film. My initial thought of the film is, how do I put it?
Wow. I'm intrigued.
That I found it. This is a good movie. You know, I mean, it's fun to watch Nicolas Cage go off. You know, the way only Nicolas Cage knows how to do it. You know, I mean, he could be scary. He could be funny. He could be influential. You know, he could talk you into things, and he's so many of these things in one character at one time. A lot of times in his films. In this film, he does it very, very well. He's just got such a believability to him. You know, with his look and his demeanor and his attitude and his style and his presentation and everything else about him, his body language. I mean, it just comes off so real for a guy who's so unreal. You know, if that makes any sense. But I mean, I've seen this story before. You know. It's not an original tale, you know. We've seen this before, but we'll continue on that as we go on. But that's my opening thought.
All right, how about you, Raven Shadow?
So, like in the first few minutes of watching it, like I said, I didn't know anything about the picture aside from the name and the two cats that were the stars. With that said, if anything we've said so far is interesting, I do recommend just watching the picture and then coming back. We're going to do our best to not spoil it, but I don't know how we can discuss without saying a few elements. That's all I can say to my fan. With that said, watching it early on, it reminded me a little bit of, I had thoughts of, what was that Tom Cruise movie with him and Jamie Foxx, where Tom Cruise played the dude with the short gray hair. He was a taxi cab driver, made him drive around.
I didn't see it, but I know which one you're talking about. I just can't think of the name of it. I'll look it up.
Not like Payback or Takeout or
Takeout.
Payback was Mel Gibson. Takeout. I'm so hungry right now. But there's that, and also a certain Paradox Press graphic novel that was made into a film. Wolfie, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
It rhymes with History of Violence.
I think you just mean History of Violence.
Yeah, maybe that's true. But so I was into it.
Just to comment on that, you know what I got a vibe for a little bit, and it's different in that there's two characters in this, but I was thinking about that film Locke with
yes, yeah, Hardy,
yes, Tom Hardy, yeah.
Especially in the car, like that motherfucker made like an hour or whatever the fuck car scene riveting.
Yeah.
And speaking of the runtime, just throwing it out there, I'm gonna say it now: an hour and 30 minutes. I've not been told this, but I've heard other guys have it being a good length. If that's a good size, that's a good running time. An hour and 30 minutes, in and out, perfect runtime.
Collateral is the movie you were thinking of.
Collateral, thank you. So it had a good length to it, and it reminded me of the movies, and I was along for the ride. I love Nicolas Cage's outfit. I love his red jacket, shades of an aging sailor from Wild at Heart. I loved his Lee press-on goatee. I loved his wig and red hair. I loved everything about it. So I'm locked in at 25 minutes in.
All right. So for me, yeah, I think kind of what MZ said. Like, there's nothing super original about this.
No,
I think, you know, and not that it's claiming to be either. You know, it's just. So I'm not saying it didn't live up to expectations or anything. It's you know, it's kind of a story we've seen before with you know, whether it's The Hitcher or you know, I didn't see Collateral, so I can't comment on that, but any of the other films that were named. But you know, I think really the portrayals and the actors are what kind of drives this. Like I really did find Nicolas Cage's character super compelling in this, and he does sort of like it kind of runs the gamut of his performance of emotions, and you know, I think it's really interesting, and that the shit, what was it, the Roadhouse? Was that the diner they went to?
Yeah, the Red Diner.
Okay,
yeah.
that scene was fucking awesome. What was that, MZ? Yeah, I thought that scene was fucking great. There was some really strong stuff in that, and I love Nick Cage when he just starts fucking screaming and going nuts. Like, that scene was great, and Kinnaman doing his whole thing, and you know, when he tries to fucking, you know, get Cage and he gets fucking handcuffed to the table, and
there was some great choreography
Yeah.
in that scene. Like, it was done, and it almost, once again, it's hard, almost like going back to Christopher Reeve as Clark Kent becoming
diner.
Superman. it kind of, yeah, like, but there was so much great stuff with Cage, and like I didn't know what his character was.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the interesting thing about this movie is that you get thoughts. You're like, oh, like, okay, he seems to know a pretty good amount. Like, is he real? Is he supernatural? You know, like, there's sort of that idea, and then we also have the tension of Joel Kinnaman's character. What's his name? He's just the driver. I mean, they don't have names.
James or David. Oh,
true. Yeah,
David.
So in the credits, he's just listed as the driver, and Nicolas Cage is the passenger. But you know, I think that it's interesting because you don't quite know who these characters are, and so we have Joel Kinnaman. His character has this dilemma because he's about to pull into the hospital where his wife is in labor giving birth, and he's already running late, and he's supposed to be there, you know, and we have the connection of, like, they've already lost a child, you know, during childbirth, or was it childbirth?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a complicated pregnancy the first time.
Yeah, because
they have a second one. Yeah.
Yeah, because he mentioned that, and so you know, so we have the tension there of, like, he's got, like, a really important thing that he needs to be at, and he now is being carjacked. Like, you know, Nicolas Cage's character comes in and basically holds a gun to him and says, drive. He's like, I'm just getting here to the hospital to go see my wife giving birth. You know, like, it's a pretty tense scene right off the bat, you know, of like, fuck, like, all right, I see what's going on here. This is pretty intense. And I think they handled a lot of the, you know, like, can he make a cry for help? Like, I think they handled that pretty well in terms of, like, when they're at the gas station, and then also with the cop scene was pretty intense too.
Oh my God. Mr. Fuck you. It's a big cop cock.
Yeah, big cop cock.
Oh, we're going to be in big trouble, aren't we?
Yeah, this is a guy who just didn't give a fuck, man. And and it wasn't bravado either. He was calling everyone's bluff. And you know, and with the driver just, you know, begging for help from strangers, from anybody who will listen, and the passenger is just, I don't blame you for trying. I don't blame you for trying. I'd be doing the same thing, but get your ass back in the car. We're going to drive some more. And a lot of this movie just deals with that. There's just an awful lot of driving in this movie. Another movie that this reminds me of is a 1977 film called Hitchhike. That stars David Hess, Franco Nero, and Corinne Cleary. Italian film, and a good movie at that too. And a lot of it takes place just driving in a car, where David Hess is the passenger, and Corinne Cleary and Franco Nero are the drivers. But I just love the way Cage handles himself in these situations where, it's early on, so he's not going to get caught. But
right, yeah.
But on you know that you just see how his mind works and how he handles situations. So when you see him and the driver engaged in a situation where there's a possibility that someone could help him, this is all just a blueprint to see how Cage's mind works at this point, and how his character works at this point. And it's really interesting to watch. It's a really interesting thing to see Cage playing a character that has to be so not really on his toes, because he just doesn't give a fuck regardless. But just somebody with so little remorse for human life, and he's like a bull in a china shop a lot of times, and it's just fun to watch him do that.
It's almost like if Vince Vaughn's character in Swingers grew up to be a total, even more of a dick.
Another good call too. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because while we've seen Cage go full on Cage, this is a different kind of full on Cage. Where I don't think he ever truly played a true villain, or didn't come off like a true villain. And the last time most viewers probably saw Joel was in the Suicide Squad, where he was swole like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
This dude got cut like a fucking mug, dude. Like, when you get out, Joel, he was cut. He went toe to toe with Cena, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I like Kinnaman. He was also in what was that show? Why am I drawing a blank? It was a Netflix show. Had 2 seasons. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting. I'll look it up and
yeah, he's such a good brother. He's such a. I love the dude. I love his
Altered Carbon. That's it.
Oh, okay. I heard that was good.
Yeah, I like the first season. I didn't watch the second because I don't think Kinnaman was in it. But there's a reason as to why. But yeah, because in the second season it was Anthony Mackie. Yeah, he played the character in the second season.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think it's on my queue that I'll never fucking watch. But
yeah, you'll never watch
cool.
it. That's cool.
But it's cool though. I'm sure he's thankful for that.
Yeah.
But it's so I kind of I hate when badass dudes play fucking sad sacky times sometimes. It's why I fucking hate that movie fucking Derailed with fucking what's his face fucking.
We're doing a good job remembering tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, dementia's a fucking hell of a drug. Clive Owen. Clive Owen was a fucking punk in that fucking movie, dude. And he came off of Sin City and that fucking Great Christmas Time movie, Children of Men or some shit.
Christmas movie, Children of Men?
It came out on Christmas. I'd make that.
Oh,
it came out on
okay. I was like,
Day.
that's not a Christmas movie. That's a fucking
no, but it did come out on Christmas
fuck
Day.
movie. That's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
movie. It's fucking awesome. I love that movie.
It's a great fucking movie, but it was like Christmas Day. Like, oh, open your presents. Oh my God.
There's no children in the world.
Yeah. Okay. Can
I
we
feel
go
like
home and
that
talk
was
politics?
Yeah, I feel like that
can
was
we
some sick joke to like have that out on Christmas Day if that's the case.
Right? That's fucked up, bro. Like, really, guys? Really marketing? But I like Cage's hairpiece.
You keep talking about that.
It's, he looked like $1 million.
Really did look good.
He did look good, yeah.
He looked fucking great.
All right, so we're sort of veering off the first impressions, which is good because we're getting into the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's funny. I kind of agree with you. Like, Joel Kinnaman, like I think he's kind of a badass dude. Like he has range where he's just not like he's not just a badass. He's not like I don't know,
Stallone.
like
or like Arnold.
Stallone, or I'm thinking of more recent like Jason Momoa. Like you see him on screen, he's like a badass dude, right? Like
right.
I haven't seen him do a lot of like drama and like touching stuff, touching scenes, I should say. Touching stuff sounds weird.
In this picture, Jason Momoa touched stuffed animals.
Jason
They're
Momoa
so
touches Barbies.
Yeah. They would get so many more
Oh my
hits than
God.
we do.
That would
They
be
would-
if that was his OnlyFans and he played with Barbies, he would be a fucking millionaire just doing that alone.
Dude, his Patreon could pay for my mortgage if that was the fucking case.
We'll
bro.
pay for all of our mortgages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so I agree. I think he has more range. Like I think he's got good as they call them facials. I don't mean anything else by that. Like he's good emotion he can show. And so I feel like he does have good range, but I feel like he is kind of an action star like with range. And I feel like he did get to show it, and he did get a little bit of he did get some action because there's a little bit more to the character than is behind than at first glance, right? So
Right.
I think it's interesting that you get to see a little bit of that. So when it happens, it feels like earned. Like it feels like it makes sense, right? If it was like I don't know, like someone else, if it like I'm trying to think of someone who's like not really an action actor, someone who's more of like sort of a dramatic actor. I don't know, like Ray Fiennes, like like
right.
Like-
He did the great Strange Days.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah.
good. I don't get me wrong, but lately he's done a lot more drama, So,
Sure.
um,
But I think that
go
comment
ahead,
you made about earned.
Yeah.
MZ, but I think earned is a great comment. Please
Yeah.
go ahead, MZ.
Yeah, go ahead, MZ.
Hey, Liam Neeson.
Well, he turned into a really good action actor, but he's one of the ones that like back in the day you wouldn't really think of him as such, but I think he turned into like a pretty good action actor.
And it's not apples to apples, but like Keanu.
Yeah, same thing with him. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like he's more because he doesn't have the. Don't get me wrong, Keanu's fucking badass, but he doesn't have the range that other actors have. But he invests everything into his roles. Like, just look at the stuff that he's done, like Matrix. Regardless of what you think about those movies, like he did the fucking work to learn all that shit.
But Private Idaho,
My Own
some of
Private
that
Idaho. Yeah.
early shit, you know what I mean? Like, even like, whoa, Dracula, that's weird, but like, he's someone that you think is like tough, but like you don't want to see, like mousy, like Ben Stiller, Woody Allen.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, geez,
Or even like as I like. Don't get me wrong. Actually, maybe this is a bad one. I was gonna say Joaquin Phoenix, because he's an amazing actor, but he also played the Joker, and he did some fucking sick shit that was completely believable. So I'm not gonna use that as an example, but you guys get the picture. Someone who's more of a dramatic actor, and then all of a sudden maybe has to transition to a bit of a badass, and it needs to feel earned, and that it makes sense. And I feel like Joel Kinnaman can do that because I felt like he was being underutilized, And then, and then later on something happens where maybe it's like, okay, well maybe he was used to add some what's the word I'm looking for? Like equity towards that action.
Equity. Yep. There was a payoff in this picture where it's been said before from the jump. Okay, we've seen this before, not with these actors, but we've kind of seen this gimmick.
Yeah.
How do we end? You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's I think I think where this ends, obviously we're not gonna talk about the ending, but I think where it goes, I think is really, it makes the payoff a little bit better, because it's almost like you don't quite know why this is, why he's hijacking his car and all that. Maybe he's just a random dude, and then sort of more comes out of it, and we get a little bit deeper into like these characters and if there's a connection between them. And so but I feel like it escalates in a logical manner, and I felt like the ending like got to a point where it made a lot of sense, and I liked where they went with it. Despite once again it being not necessarily a completely original story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The ending makes sense. I get it. At the same time, I got to tell you, man, this movie was very predictable.
Yeah. At times it was, and that's kind of what I'm,
It was very predictable, and the ending was predictable. And the only way I knew that, and maybe you guys will agree with me here, I don't know, is just by the title of the film.
Well, yeah.
So a lot of times where we just, accept the title of a movie and say, okay, well, that's it. There's a purpose for this. There's a purpose for this title. And I really feel like the title does a disservice to the film. I'm not saying the film is any classic. It's not. It's good. It's fun. It's exciting at times, but it's also very predictable. It's colorful. Nicolas Cage is great. Kinnaman is great. But like I said, it's predictable. And a lot of that was just from the jump on the title. If it was titled something different, I would not see this ending coming. But because title, man, it just became a very predictable piece. And that's a shame. Because you could see that Nicolas Cage puts a lot into his performance in this one. Not to say that he doesn't in his other films, but here you could really see the range of Cage being sarcastic and being generous at times, and dangerous, angry, smiling, laughing, sad. He runs the entire gamut of emotions in this film in a small time frame, and he's very good at it, and he's very believable at it, and you just can't stop watching him. You can't take your eyes off of him. And Kinnaman is fantastic in this movie too. The thing is that like Raven Shadow and I have been saying, we've seen this stuff before. It's nothing new. The plot's nothing new. And if the plot's nothing new, then the characters can't be new. Otherwise, we would have something different to talk about. But there isn't. And with the predictability of this movie, it knocks it down a few notches.
Yeah, I mean, I could certainly see that when you say that. Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't have a problem with you saying that. Because I think it was a bit predictable at times for sure. But I feel like the ride that it took me on was good. Like, and when I'm engaged in the movie, like I feel like that it all worked for me. So, but I absolutely can see what you're saying. Like, and it's not like one of those things where I'm like, how the fuck did you see that? Like, I don't, like what movie were you watching? Like, I don't feel that at all. I feel like what you're saying, I can see, but I feel like it generally worked for me, and it kept me engaged throughout. And I think that was the performances of the characters, and the way the film looked really went a long way for me into that believability, and making it so that this sort of like well-tread sort of story felt, it felt like it wasn't just the same old.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't like an M. Night fucking oh shit, ending. But I think a lot of it was along for the ride. Now, there were some scenes that really bothered me, and a big thing, I can suspend all my disbelief. I could totally buy a radioactive spider that can bite a fucking skinny kid from Queens and give him the proportionate strength of a spider. Totally makes sense to me. But I fucking hate when gunshots go off in enclosed spaces and people are not impacted by it. Having like recently had the opportunity to actually shoot some guns on a range, and I had earplugs in, and even with earplugs, my ear was still ringing for like 9 hours later. Like, so when there was a gunshot in a car, my first instinct is, where the fuck did the bullet, what did he shoot into? And both those characters should have had their ears bleeding. The only time I ever saw it done well was an episode of Sopranos. So that took me out.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, exactly. I agree, because same thing. I'm at the range. I'm wearing headphones,
right?
And that loud pop. I mean, it comes out in an instant, and man, it is fucking loud. Be loud, and I can understand where you're coming from. I get it, because it makes sense. If at close range, if you're firing a gun at close range, Jesus Christ, you should be losing your hearing for at least the next 20 minutes.
Oh, and you'd be ringing. Like the day I shot was a 357, 2 Glocks, and a 45 under controlled conditions on a range. I was a guest. But those are fucking loud fucking shots.
For me, like, I mean, and because it bothered you guys, like, it doesn't, like, it is what it is. Like, it's not something that bothers me, because it's one of those things that we just see in movies all the time. It's something like that. It's igniting gasoline with a bullet, which never, that doesn't work. Or using electricity to kill somebody, like electricity from an outlet is like 99 times out of 100 is not going to kill someone. Like, I mean, just the voltage, and probably even more than that. Like, it's just not going to kill someone. It's like as someone who was in like electrical trade school, like we used to shock each other all the time on purpose just to fuck with each other, and no one died. Like, it's just 120 volts. It kind of tickles and feels a little weird. It's just one of those things that I don't know. Like, there's so many things in movies that are just like, yeah, that's so unbelievable, but it's just part of like the movie shorthand. So I don't know, things like that it doesn't take me out, but it can take you out. That's totally fine.
Yeah, once again, I totally am with you on everything you just said, Wolfie. Like, you buy into it. That is the one that takes me out.
It's the verisimilitude, as we say.
Yeah, I'm very
what is that called? What do we call those big words? I forget.
Oh shit, we had a gimmick. Fuck.
Fuck. What was the episode that we did that with? I think we did it with Rachel, right? Oh yeah,
I think so.
It was a rare moment.
Monocle moment.
A rare moment of eloquence.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your rare moment of eloquence.
But like, with what did he shoot though? where'd the bullet exit? Like I don't. So it's like
didn't he have the window open? If he did,
okay.
it would have went out the window.
Okay, all right, fine. Then I'll accept that. Because we saw a glass break later in the film. Okay, I didn't catch that, but all right. Once again, I'm not saying I'm going to die on that hill. I'm just saying that it just frustrates me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Not that I'm fucking G.I. Joe or some shit like that. I just,
G.I.
my ears hurt. My ears hurt for
You're
like
G.I.
hours.
Bro.
I'm G.I. Bro. G.I. don't think so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that takes place inside the diner. That was just amazing.
Oh, that scene's great. Yeah,
I love the diner scene.
Yeah, that to me that was the money shot right there. That was just a fun scene. It had good tension.
Plucky spirit.
You have spirit, exactly. I mean, it was, because now you're dealing with more than just Kinnaman as a possible target.
Right.
Then with things really starting, comes in with her kid.
Yeah, the woman and their daughter. Yeah.
It was really getting intense, and it's just a matter of, Cage is going to go nuts. It's just at what level of nutdom is he going to reach? Is he going to reach low level Cage or high level Cage? And we're always striving for high level Cage, so. And that screaming jag that he had during in there, telling him to shut up. Oh my God. Man, I don't know what kind of drugs he takes, man, but I got to get some of that stuff.
I'm sure he used to take a lot. I don't know if he does now, but
he looked great. He did. I mean, he's in his 60s now, isn't he?
He looked great.
I think so. It's funny. Joel Kinnaman's younger than all of us. I know.
Really?
Not that I'm all that surprised, but yeah, he's. I don't know why I thought he was a little bit older, but he was born in '79, so he's a little bit younger than all of us. Cage. Let's see. He was born in '64, so he's got. He's close to 60. He's 59.
Wow.
So he's getting there.
Yeah, but he looked great in this.
He looks awesome. Yeah, he looks great.
Once again, some movie magic, fair.
Like I feel like he's someone who, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not like the authority on this. Maybe he's got some work done. It doesn't look to me like he has, but he's aging well. Like he's someone who is aging, but he still looks very much like himself. Maybe his hair helmet is a little bit weird looking at times. Like
yeah.
But,
listen, he had some hair help. I mean, I'm not throwing shade. You know what I mean? Right. But like, and that was a fake goatee, right? It was a good looking fake goatee. I'm pretty sure.
I would guess it was.
Yeah.
I mean, was that a fake goatee when he did the trailer to? When he did the fake trailer to
Women of the SS Women, what was it? SF, what was the
Werewolf
Woman of the SS?
Ilsa.
Was that his fake goatee, or did he actually grow that?
But the coat looked great. Like I love his outfit. Like he looked like $1 million. I want that action figure.
You want the action figure.
Like I want that McFarlane figure, bro. Legit. Yeah, it
yeah, I feel like kind of what MZ said. I think I wish it had a different title because it is a little leading, getting you thinking one thing. I think it would have benefited from a different title, but it's not to the point where I think it's like absolutely terrible, but it makes sense. But I feel like it would have been slightly better if it didn't set expectations a certain way,
My only thought is my idea went more towards supernatural
Yeah, yeah.
until and maybe it was the costume design, until there was a scene of physicality that I was like, oh, well, this person didn't heal quickly. Maybe they are mortal.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think overall, I mean, it's I think, just technically too, I think the movie looks, I mean, we talked about this a little bit. I think the movie looks awesome. Like there's some really great scenes, especially that scene after when the diner is on fire. And they're sort of outside and there's that like sort of smoky haze, like orangey look to it. That looked awesome. Like there's some really great stuff there.
I was trying to think how they did the shots with like the under the car shots with the flame in the background. Like I said, I wasn't thinking about the Mandalorian gimmick, but I was like, oh, I feel like that's a very hot scene. I felt what I felt like I thought the characters might be experiencing. I was engaged. What am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I don't know.
I don't
Tell
know.
us.
I was engaged. I was engaged.
Again?
No, not again, brother. That's pretty funny. Maybe again.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one
All right, well, let's start to wrap this up. I think we've done a good job of chatting about this flick. And, yeah, do you guys have anything else before we head to the verdict?
Not really.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I did just think of one more thing. When Nick Cage talks about where he's like, did you ever go to Boston? Like,
oh. And I was like, my first thought was like, have you been doing a Boston accent this whole time?
I know.
Yeah,
because that's not it.
I would think maybe he just lived in Boston, but he's from somewhere else. That was what I was getting from it, because that was in no way, shape, or form a Boston.
No, but that's like, is that what you're trying to do? Because you're
hear
not
him
doing
trying. You can hear his voice that he's trying to do an accent, but if it's a Boston accent, it's totally wrong. It's not right at all.
That's not it.
I'm assuming that he's from somewhere else. He just lived in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. There was one other thing I was going to mention. He said something really funny. It was right before the Boston thing. Shit. Was he talking about some kind of food or something?
Fighters.
Well, the tuna melt. The tuna melt.
Well, the tuna melt. That wasn't what I was thinking of, but the tuna melt thing was funny. He's like,
the no substitutions pissed him off.
I thought that was really funny. Yeah, she's like, I'll slip you some cheddar under the table. Who puts mozzarella on a fucking tuna melt? I mean, it's true. Like, what do you don't do fucking mozzarella. You do. I know how much you like mozzarella, Raven Shadow, but you do cheddar. That's
it's
what
true.
You do. Are you cool with that?
I don't eat tuna fish.
Well, if you did.
If I did, I don't have a base of reference, but cheddar's my go-to. I love it. I like putting cheddar on my scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
What are you, 8? My scrambled eggs.
Little scrambies. I just like I have fun. I enjoy my food.
Yeah, I thought but that was I thought that was really funny, the Boston thing, and then also the tuna melt. I thought that some of the writing, like there was some memorable dialogue, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
That I think that goes a long way to making a movie a little bit more engaging or memorable. So okay, just want to make sure I mentioned that stuff. All right, let's go to the verdict and let's find out. Oh shit, I got to load up the verdict stuff. I had the weird science clips.
Shit.
I gotta
Let's
look.
play that again.
Go in on. We could go in on that.
All right, here it is.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Sympathy for the Devil was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts. Let's kick it off with Monster Zero.
This film is an example of how the travel is far more entertaining than the destination. The journey to get there was a lot of fun.
It's funny. I literally read a review like that today about this movie, so it also agrees with you.
That's funny. And it's true. The journey is far more enjoyable than the destination. Which is not to say the destination is bad. It's not. It's passable. It's believable. It's good. You get entertained by it. Nicolas Cage is great as always. Kinnaman is good in this movie. He plays a simple role, and he does it very well. And he runs through his gamut of emotions too. Not as much as Cage, but he has his fair share as well. Fear, anxiety, sadness, but on the negative ends, more on the negative ends than Cage does. It's got a good soundtrack too, I gotta say.
Yeah. Oh, the jukebox scene, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's go right.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I love the nightlife. I got the boogie on the disco. Oh, yeah. And he's there dancing, and it's almost reminiscent of Michael Madsen's character in Reservoir Dogs.
Totally, yeah, totally is, yeah.
When he's got the gasoline poured on the cop who's all tied up on the chair. I mean, and all these things add up to a decent flick. My negative takeaway from this is that it's predictable. You've seen these things before. You've seen these things from these type of characters before. The characters don't do anything different, so there's nothing new to catch interest, to pick up the story's tempo. It just doesn't do that. It plays by the numbers, and yeah, that's safe. But when you got Nicolas Cage, you want to get a little bit more for your dollar. And while he does put out a damn fine performance, the rest of the story just doesn't match up to his energy, sadly. But like I said, that doesn't mean that this is a bad movie. This is a good movie. It just doesn't hit those notes where it should, and it is predictable. It's still a pass. It's still a treat, but I kind of was hoping for a little bit more. The title, if you really think about it, the title pretty much says everything. But that's what I'm going with. This is a treat, just a regular treat.
All right, Raven Shadow.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a podcaster without any taste. That's a Sympathy for the Devil reference. But
did you say Symphony for the Devil?
Sympathy with my deepest symphonies on your tragic day. Bambaleo. No, that's my greeting card. But no, I mean, as we've said, yeah, it's not reinventing the wheel or even reinventing the steel. But I enjoyed both these actors doing their gimmick. Right, we've said it's not anything you've seen before, not seen before, but I think it twisted a little bit, and I was along for the ride, man. Is it top 13? I don't know, but I really enjoyed watching these guys together. and it hit the high spots for me for my Cage. The look, the outfit, the hairpiece, I was on board, and I just enjoyed this. It's a breezy watch, not a lot of investment. You know, I mean, I think you could do worse than checking this out, and it's fun. So I would say it's definitely a fun treat for me.
All right. For me, this was a treat. I thought this was good. I liked the performances. It was a bit. The story was a bit one-dimensional and a bit predictable, kind of like MZ said. But I feel like the performances elevated it and made it so even though you can maybe sort of figure out where it's heading or where it's going, it still keeps you interested because you're engaged in the characters and what they're going to do or say. So for me, I think that really kept it from veering off into, a territory where it was just straight up predictable and not good. So I think it does a good job of kind of towing that line. And I like the performances. I like the characters. The writing, has some memorable bits. It is very good looking film. And one of the things I saw here, and I sort of had said this earlier, but just to clarify with the right information, it looks like half the film was shot at this Las Vegas-based virtual studio owned by View Technologies. And Sympathy for the Devil was the first feature film in Nevada history to be shot on an LED soundstage. So, I mean, not that that's any big distinction or anything, but it was the first in Nevada to be shot on a virtual soundstage, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I haven't found the budget for this yet. I was looking for that earlier. I was just kind of curious because with that technology, with the sort of digital background, if that saves a lot of budget or if it's expensive to rent that out and to get and have someone build the 3D spaces for you. Let's see. Well, it says the film has been prepared with a budget. I don't know. This is from movievalue.in. I don't know how reliable this is, but it excuse me. It says 48 million. The film has been prepared with a budget of about 48 million. I don't know if that's accurate. Seems high, but I don't know. This is production 30 million, cast 18 million. So I guess with the cast, I mean those are pretty big names. So for the cast, it adds an extra 18 million. So I guess I could see that. I could see the production was 30 million. That seems to be a little bit more in line. I would think that this, if I were to guess, I would have guessed like 20, 25 million. But with the virtual soundstage, that does add an element of cost that I'm just not familiar with. But with the cast, with Kinnaman and Cage, then yeah, I could see the budget being inflated because of them. So, yeah, 48 mil is what I'm seeing. I don't know how accurate that is, but yeah. So I dug it. Thought it was a treat. Once again, we've seen films like this. It's not breaking new ground, but I think it does a good job with the actors and the story that it's telling, and is overall just kind of an interesting film. And I think a lot of people will dig this. So if you're interested, give it a look and see what you think. Check out Sympathy for the Devil. It is available on VOD. All right. Next week, I have a couple options. I'm not sure what to go with here. Let me see. I don't think we have any voice messages. It's funny. Always after like a milestone show, I feel like we normally don't get that much, which is understandable.
Sure.
Because we had a lot of people call in last week. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if we have any and then I'll pick a film soon. Was there anything else you guys wanted to bring up before we start to wrap up while I look for voice messages?
Nope.
Any stories or funny anecdotes? Well, you don't have to. I mean, if you don't have anything, then you don't have to make it up.
One time.
Oh.
What's I guess while I look, what's everyone's favorite Paul Rubens role? I mean, it can be Pee-wee if you want, but would it be the, like, you know, if so, the show, movies, like, what's everyone's favorite?
If it's not Pee-wee, what was the movie where he's like, "Here's for you and the horse you rode in on," or something like that? Is that Meatballs?
I think so. Holy shit!
That was Meatballs 2.
Meatballs 2.
Meatballs 2. I don't know if that was that Paul Rubens that did that? I just watched Meatballs 2 several months ago.
That's fucking weird to say that as a human being, but okay. But I think he was a bus driver.
Yeah, he wore the hat with the goggles, those World War goggles, yeah.
He's like, "Here's for you and the horse you rode in on," or something like that.
Paul Rubens that did that? I don't remember.
I think so. It was one of the first what do you call it? What do you call swears?
What do you call swears?
Yeah.
Curse words?
Curse word, or like it was one of the first cursing using fingers that I did.
What do you call swears?
What do you call swears?
Swears. That's what you call them.
Oh, I guess you call them swears then.
Jesus.
Yeah. Hollywood swears.
Yeah, it's like when you start off like Fisher Price, My First Swears. You're like, damn. You wait to get hit by your parents. You're like, oh shit. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's okay. And you're like, fuck. And you're like hitting the head. You know.
It's Pee-wee. I can't pick anybody else over any other character that he did that was so good and that he completely owned.
From movie or show?
Both. I would pick I mean, if I had to pick one, it would probably be his 81 special. That was brilliant. And then several years ago he redid it. He did that special again. I think around 2015, I think he did. It had to have been before he started having his cancer situation. But he rebooted his 81 special. And he brought out all new actors, all new characters, and it was a remake of his 81 show.
And
it was great.
But wasn't there like a Christmas Pee-wee where he was like riding with Joe Manganiello? That guy?
Joe Mantegna.
Oh my God, you were fucking terrible with names.
I know, Joe Montana. He was Joe Montana?
No, it's Joe Montana.
No,
stay away from names from now on. You're really falling apart.
That's true.
Okay.
Joe Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello.
Fucking nice Italian boy. What the hell?
Yeah, he's married to Sophia Viagra.
Viagra.
Sophia Viagra.
No,
and they're
not
breaking
anymore.
up though.
Yeah. I'll jump in and save her.
Yeah, everyone's like that. He's like, yo, I got this. Really, bro? Okay. I think either
I'm sure
one.
she needs saving from you.
Yeah.
Oh man,
But
I have a couple interesting ones that we could do here.
Pick one. It can't be that difficult.
It's not, but like, could ask you guys, but like, you guys don't give a fuck.
Which one's an hour and 30 minutes?
Becky.
Huh?
Is Becky 2 on the list?
Yes, that's one of them.
Then let's make it that.
Becky 2 Electric Becky Lou. All right.
Hey, Becky, you're so fine, you're so fine, you're so fine. But Becky.
Mickey Becky.
Number 2. Becky.
All right. The other one it's almost 2 hours, Raven Shadow. So maybe we'll.
Fuck.
I'll mention this to you guys off the air, and then maybe we'll do the other one next week if nothing else jumps out. But yeah, let's do that. So we'll do Wrath of Becky next week. How about that?
All right. I'm gonna be. I might be remote next weekend.
Remote?
Yeah.
You are remote right now.
You got to be upstairs.
Where are you gonna
I
be?
think I might be down the Cape. Might be down the Cape next weekend, the beach house.
Down the Cape.
Yeah.
It's not really that much down. It's kind of like east.
Yeah, it's funny. We always say down the Cape, but I think it's up the Cape.
Is that what you say when you fly away as a superhero up the Cape?
up, and go to the Cape.
Marion says profanity. Is that the word you were looking for?
I'm not sure. It might be.
So yeah, so let's do Wrath of Becky, and if you guys recall, we did Becky a couple of years ago. Let's see, I'm trying to.
That was dope. That was with. I'm not sure if MZ was with us during that.
No, he was.
I was.
Yeah, that was episode 412. It was a while ago.
Okay, yeah, with Paul Blart.
yeah.
Paul.
Yes, is he in the remake? Is he in the sequel? I mean,
he's not.
And Kurgan choke slamming that kid.
Oh yeah. I almost forgot about that. Holy shit.
I forgot about that.
No, there is a different type of celebrity in Wrath of Becky, or Becky 2 times.
So we did that episode. It was episode 412 in June 19th, 2020. That's when we did it. So a couple months after the pandemic started, and let's see, is it the same directing duo? No, actually different directors. So, but it has same star, Lulu Wilson as Becky.
So new Wrath, same Becky.
Yes, I think it's a new Wrath.
Wrath, same taste.
And
wow,
you're gonna love this, Raven Shadow. 1 hour, 24 minutes.
Oh,
treat.
Oh, he fans.
All right, so we'll do Wrath of Becky. Marion's excited. She says, "Hooray for Becky!"
Yeah, we'll watch that at the beach house.
The bee house. Are you going to be a BSO at the bee house?
Yeah, I'm totally. It's so close quarters. Yeah.
Just you, Marion, and Ollie, I hope.
Yeah, with his neighbors though, I might, I might do a little Riggs walk in the moonlight.
Jesus.
I'll send you guys a GIF.
No, definitely don't.
No, we're gonna.
I don't want a gift or a gift.
You're gonna get a.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
All right, so yeah. Oh shit! I just saw who was in Wrath of Becky. I don't know if this is the person you were talking about. Was he?
I think it is
an '80s actor.
Yeah, boy.
Oh shit! I'm not gonna say anything.
I don't know who it is.
Okay.
So I'm saying
Yeah.
When you see MZ, you're gonna fucking freak out. You're gonna love it.
You're gonna pop.
Yeah, you're gonna pop. I won't say anymore. All right, so Wrath of Becky next week. We shall do that. And let me just double check all the chat rooms. Radio of Horror says, "Good show, guys." Thanks, Dr.
Thank
Chris.
you, bud.
Appreciate it.
you.
And what was I just looking at? I don't know. They probably won't listen to the show, but we actually had somebody recently comment on YouTube on episode 489, which was a Patreon takeover that EF Contentment programmed, and he chose Even the Wind is Afraid and The Silent Partner. I don't know if you guys remember that Mexican horror movie. Yeah. So somebody was commenting on that, and they said, I can't believe they just compared this movie with the Star Wars Christmas special. Now I just remembered why I usually avoid English reviews. Who do you guys remember who related it to the fucking? It was probably MZ.
I would suspect MZ.
Maybe. And then also says, let's see, very interesting how foreigners interpret our telling stories approach. Something natural is seemed like something boring or filler in their eyes. The striptease context makes no sense for them when there's a little like language barrier, so I'm trying to makes no sense for them when it is one of the highlights of the movie due to our culture situation back in the 60s and in the movie context as well. Also, I noticed this in other films. English speakers culturally hate quiet and contemplative moments, and is evident in the adaptation of the Japanese animated movie Kiki's Delivery Service, when in the first English dubbed version, they just erase all the quiet moments of the movie, adding voices. Street small talk and all types of music effects, whistles and bells, everything to interpret the quiet and silent scenes in the movie. But it can't be helped, is part of our differences. I love when people like comment on stuff like that because I want to know the cultural differences, and stuff like that.
Right.
I think that's, I don't remember, like this movie review was a year ago, 49. So it was like actually more than a year ago. Let's see if I can find the date on this one. I don't know. It doesn't list the date. It just says over a year ago. Oh, December 9th. So it was almost 2 years ago, a year and like 8 months right now. So I don't remember that far back. I don't remember what was said about it, but I could see us saying stuff like that because it is a very like quiet movie. And how we've talked about this many times. We talked about it when we talked about Skinamarink and what was that other one that was related? Not related, but similar. The Outwaters. And I remember Casual Noob Sabat even called back and said, hey, I'm going to watch it the way that you said. I feel like the way we watch movies now is different from the way we used to watch movies, and we have a lot more distractions now. And it really just depends on how you're watching it. A lot of times, I admit if I don't get a chance to watch the movie prior, like earlier on in the week or on the weekend or something, I may have to watch it on Thursday while I'm getting the show ready. And that sucks. I hate doing that because I can't focus as well as I might normally. For me, because I like to immerse myself in the films and to just take it all in and put my phones down. Put my phones. I don't have multiple. I have one. I put my phone down and just focus on the movie. But there are times when you don't really know. Maybe someone is watching a movie and they're distracted by something else, or maybe the movie isn't engaging, but they have to watch it for the show like we do. And they're like, yeah, I got to watch this, but I'm not really interested. So you start doing something else, and then you might miss something. And then it just seems like it's a slow movie because, you decided to do something else. So I think it is interesting, and I like hearing from other people. I doubt this person is going to listen to this episode, because it seems like they probably just found the episode on YouTube by searching, for the film title, The Wind is Afraid. So they probably won't subscribe and listen to all the episodes. But still, I want to say that I like hearing those sorts of things. I like hearing what a film means to a culture and how, maybe it's different. And this person talked about the striptease. Because if we see a striptease in a movie now, like it's going to be like, oh, well, this is kind of, where's the titillation? Where's all the whatever? But
I know where it is.
At this time in the 60s, I think this movie came out. Like that might have been a really big thing where it's like, wow, like this is a really racy film for having that scene,
Right. Well, it's like sitcoms when they were sleeping in separate beds, and I think was it Desi Arnaz and Lucy were the first ones to be in the same bed together or some shit. Like,
Herman and Lily Munster were the first.
Oh, really? For real?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Because they're monsters.
Yeah.
And they better get right with Jesus first.
So, yeah, I just wanted to call that out. I thought it was interesting, and I appreciate CT or CTalkTil 26 or 2964. If you ever listen to this episode, we appreciate you commenting and just giving us your insight and yeah.
And for real, like how many like a lot of Korean pictures where we're like not sure of what they're exactly making to the subtext, and even like some of Carando stuff, and that's why it's great to have like El Goro on, to help us be smarter.
Yeah, and even I mean this certainly isn't putting down El Goro. He's a very worldly man and has a lot of experiences. But if you never lived in South Korea, like I remember we talked to Tim from Korea, Ghetto Tim.
Right.
And he gave us some insight into some of the cultural differences while he was living in South Korea, and just how it's so different, and how some of that stuff, because generally we really enjoy Korean movies, the ones that we've seen on the show, and they have a different way of telling stories, but there's some cultural stuff in there that we just may not get because we don't live there and we never have visited, so it's hard to really get that sense of connection to it, So that's why I like hearing from other people living in other places and different cultures and everything. So yeah. So if this person ever listens, I appreciate you commenting, and do so again. Send in a voice message.
For real, join Patreon, $2 a month.
Well, all right, let's just get him a listen again first. All right.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to be a Barker brother.
Bob Barker brother.
Barker brothers.
The Barker
Buy our
brothers.
shit.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to start to wind down. We didn't really talk about last week. I had a fucking blast though last week, and I know MZ brought up the 6 Degrees of sitcoms. And first of all, Steven Scarlatta, awesome fucking dude, great brother. Made a great fucking documentary. Really enjoyed having Stevie back on the show, and he's just such a good dude. And every time we have him on, it's great. And if you haven't seen it, go check out his new documentary, Sharksploitation. It is on Shudder. Definitely worth a watch. Really, really well executed, well made, all that good stuff.
I watched it again the other night to go to bed. I had a little cheese pizza, little Elio's, and I was just vibing with Ollie, man. It was fucking nice.
You've really pushed Mama Celeste to the side, huh?
It's not the same.
I know.
Not the same.
Since they got rid of the silver disc, right?
The disc, that's the thing. That's you gotta have the silver disc, bro.
What's that, MZ?
Said I don't think he's a real Italian if he's eating Elio's.
Well, first of all, I think real Italian and Elio should not be in the same sentence.
I am a real Italian.
Yeah. I think you're shaming me is what you're doing. Man, we've talked about this.
The pen.
Yeah. Let's just come all up. I'll take you guys to the Olive Garden. The breadsticks are killer, bro.
I can't eat those breadsticks anymore.
You can't eat bread?
Gets a lot of butter on them.
Is butter? How do you make butter?
You
churn the milk.
You churn it.
Butter.
Do you not know how butter is made?
First of all, no. But second of all, I don't think Olive Garden uses real butter. They use like butter flavor.
Butter flavored butter.
Butter flavored butter.
Butter.
Let me see. I'll look as
They got fucking Peter Parquet all day, baby, over there.
Look, I used to work for a company that sold Olive Garden their breadsticks. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember bringing out bags upon bags upon bags of these breadsticks. Okay. Oh, and they were frozen, but you could still kind of smell the freshness in them. Oh, it was great.
Holy shit. They're dairy free, motherfuckers.
See?
Oh, there you go.
What's on them? Let's see. There's no butter in the breadsticks. They are not cooked with butter or margarine. Margarine and garlic salt are added later? What? Let's see. It says they're vegan. I see a couple vegan blogs saying that they're totally vegan. So,
see,
All right, I'll go. I'll have some.
Yeah. Are they vegan, but you don't believe them? There you go. There you go. Yeah. All right, when you guys come up, we're gonna go with Olive Garden, baby. Get the unlimited breadsticks.
Yeah, maybe they. I'm sure some of that too. They got a good minestrone. Maybe I could have.
Yeah.
Salad.
They get everything over there. Michael Rosenbaum likes Olive Garden.
And you want to be.
He does.
And you want to be inside him. So.
I do. I do.
All right. So that's it. No voice messages. Marion says butter flavored topping, like it was at Showcase Cinemas.
Right. See, she knows. Yeah, that's not real butter. It's butter flavored topping.
Butter flavored topping.
Which,
all right.
Which is basically oil.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
Oral cream.
All
Oral
right.
cream.
Let's say goodbye. So let's start with MZ.
You're cheap, douchebag.
All right. Rave Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I had a little hangover from the milestone 11-year party. It was a great time. Oh, I forgot to mention. I brought up Steve Scarlatta, but I also wanted to bring up Rocky. Big thanks to Rocky hanging out with us and doing the table read. I thought that was a lot of fun. I'd actually love to get some feedback on that kind of thing. Like, if you guys dug it, let us know. Maybe we'll do something like that again. I don't know. Like, if nobody lets us know, we'll probably forget about it, honestly. So,
and by the way, zombie girls.
I was gonna get there, but yeah, you go for it. I mean, you're their biggest fan, so.
Such a mark. It's like when the fucking JLA and JSA team up, baby.
So
right?
Yeah, so it was awesome. We appreciate the zombie girls coming on and hanging out with us. That was actually a lot of fun to do the 6 degrees of sitcoms, and maybe we'll do it again sometime. MZ just he destroyed it. Rave Show, you did pretty good, but he came in second, and second's last. So it is what it is.
Best.
All right, so that's going to do it. Next week, as I mentioned, we will be talking about the film Wrath of Becky. It's available on VOD. Check it out. Come back next week, hang out with us, and if you want to send in a voice message, send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. That's it. Go home. That's all. I don't know. We'll see you next week. Bye.